WTHO FM Sports presents the Thomson High School Head Coaches Show. Earlier this week, Claude Powell sat down with head football coach at Thomson, Michael Youngblood. We'll have that interview after these commercial messages from our sponsors: Regional Imaging Center, Hoagie Joe's, Georgia Pacific Warrenton Lumber, Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop, and Popeyes in Thomson.
When your doctor orders an MRI, ultrasound, EMG, or nerve conduction study, relax, stay closer to home, find the industry's latest technology, and pay less than in most larger markets. Their GE Logic 9 ultrasound scanner, for example, offers premium radiology platforms. General scans and even echocardiograms done at Regional Imaging quickly produce clearer images to help you get better sooner. Choose the best. Request Regional Imaging Center next to Piedmont Hospital, McDuffie.
Popeyes introduces a non-breaded version of the Internet's favorite chicken sandwich, boldly seasoned with Popeyes' unique blackened rub. It's a combination of delicious Louisiana spicy chicken, 2 tangy pickle slices, and mayo on a tasty brioche bun. Try the new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich. It feels lighter but still packs all the flavor. For dessert, it's Popeyes banana cream cake. Popeyes in Thomson on Main.
The employees at Georgia Pacific's softwood lumber production operation in Warrenton are happy to be involved in supporting community events like high school athletics. The 340,000 square foot facility there is one of 15 plants in Georgia alone and a proud part of GP locations in more than 30 states in the U.S. Voted one of America's best large employers by Forbes, take a look at gp.com/careers to see current job openings. Georgia Pacific, an equal opportunity employer manufacturing a future for the next generation.
Hey, my man.
Hey, we talking for the last time this year.
Look here, a great game against Appleton County.
We knew it was going to be a very tough battle. We felt like we had to go in and find ways to get the ball on the perimeter and try our best to sustain some drives and figure out ways to try to hit some big plays and use our speed to overwhelm them. Defensively, we knew we wanted to keep stuff in front of us. They were very good at throwing the football and running it. From watching film on them, it seems like if you couldn't stop the pass, they'll continuously do it. But if they got mad and got frustrated, they would line up in their wildcat and just try to pound you. So we knew those two things was going to come at us. And then I thought special teams, they were the best special teams that we were going to face. That had me a little bit worried because their punter can punt 50-plus yards, and then which was the quarterback, so you got to be careful for fakes. And then you turn around and you have their kicking game as far as extra point field goals and kickoffs. He's been pretty much spot on the money all year long. So those are the things that, kind of stood out to us. And what we wanted to do is we got in there and defensively, I'm going to talk first, we got in there and kind of had some get some stops early on. They had a nice little drive, but we ended up getting an interception by Devontae Babbs. And our thought process was to definitely play man-to-man, come after them, cause as much havoc as we can, and make sure that we limit them to one way of doing stuff. We wanted to take the pass game away from them. We felt like our corners could hold up, our safeties could hold up, and every chance we got to be very physical with them, we would definitely want to do that. And I thought in the first half, man, you couldn't ask for anything better. They kept us pent a couple of times, and our offense, did their best to get it out of their territory of having us pent. And, man, we gave them the ball several times in the first half inside the 50. Yeah. And our defense bowled their back and never gave up any points. And I thought that was a tremendous job by them, because when it's all said and done now, that's pretty stout in the fact that you get the ball 2 or 3 times inside the 50, and we held up. Had a situation where we was trying to run a little option to kind of, make them play assignment football, and Jontavius Curry in the first half bust one. We had several plays that we felt like we had and we hit, but, had a couple flags on it. Can't worry about that. You got to, shake it off and get ready for the next play. We come back right before the half. We get a sack by Jameer Roberts that caused the fumble. And then Ja'Kias Jones pulls the ball down and runs and makes a hell of a play and pitching it forward as he's getting tackled, Curry, to go up 13-0. And then on the extra point field goal, we had a little bad snap. So the kicker, it wasn't on him. It was a bad snap. We go in at 13-0 at half, and I felt like we should have had a couple of other, maybe 1 or 2 more scores in the first half, but overall, defensively, I felt like we played good. Offensively, I felt like we did it what we needed to do, other than a couple of penalties that kept us or stalled out the drives, or, we had a trick play that was a little questionable, but we can't put it into question, because if we execute it the way we were supposed to and talk to, that's at least 21-0, going into half, or 19 or 20 or whatever the case may be with extra points. We come back out the second half, and I felt like we had them. We got them over pursuing, hit them on a reverse, you get down the sideline. I wish we could have just ran it on in and scored. We had a couple things. We missed a blocking assignment on 4th down that got us, and we turned the ball over on downs. I felt like if we could have punched it in right there, we could have went ahead and made the game kind of get out of hand, and we didn't do that.
You're listening to the Thomson High School Head Football Coaches Show with Coach Michael Youngblood and Claude Powell. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hoagie Joe's Sports Grill on Railroad is the meal destination before the game. Taste their burgers, steaks, and desserts, and you'll know why they're winners of Best of McDuffie year after year. You'll enjoy appetizers, sandwiches, wraps, salads, and so much more. This family-oriented, sports-themed restaurant in the heart of historic downtown is open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Find them at 128 Railroad Street, downtown Thomson. Call ahead at 595-7575 for something delicious from Hoagie Joe's.
Accidents are awful. Repair work for your vehicle shouldn't be. That's why you should send your vehicle to Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop for all your auto, body, and collision repair needs. With over 35 years experience and a highly trained professional team, you can guarantee your vehicle will be in good hands. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop promises to return your vehicle to pre-accident condition or better. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop, 146 East Hill Street in Thomson, 706-595-6775.
In celebration of Popeye's 50th anniversary, they're featuring their famous Cajun rice. Tender, fluffy rice and Cajun meat. You want some, and you don't want to miss this fan favorite for a limited time at Popeye's in Thomson. Also available for delivery through the Popeye's app and DoorDash. If you're craving some Louisiana flavor and Cajun hospitality, be sure to order yours today. Popeye's, Main Street, Thomson.
Next, we go in, and they put a drive together. You got to give them credit. They didn't want to go home. They put a drive together. They kind of punched us in the mouth a little bit and ran at us. And I worried about that a little bit during the course of the game, because I had that in my notes from last year that they kind of swallowed us up because we were a little bit smaller than they were. We tried our best to rotate defensive line and rotate outside backers to try to deal with it over the course of the game so that, we could be a little bit more fresher in the fourth quarter. They were able to punch one in the third quarter. We didn't do anything offensively in the third quarter. Still missed some plays that I felt like we had there. Going into the fourth quarter, I knew that we at least need to score one more touchdown, potentially 2. And I told the kids, we gotta go fight. I said, do you see any worry on my face? And they was like, no. I said, all right. I said, we got to go make some plays now. They end up punching another one in to make the game 14-13. And we come back and, Coach Tierney wanted to run a play. And I say, all right, well, I like the play, but we got to run out of this formation and motion, because if we line up like that, they're going to overload the box on us. and that ain't what we want. We'll have numbers if we motion into the formation that you want. So we call it, and lo and behold, we hit a 77-yard touchdown. I think once we hit that, that was that counter punch in a heavyweight match that you got to have. So they asked me that we want to go for 2, and I say, not right now. It's still too early. We're not going to chase points while we're up, because I felt like we were going to get another situation where we could score again. So we put it in, and then, we exchanged a couple more times, and then they went on there. We had a chance to pin them. I thought we did a good job. North Story did a good job all game of punting, keeping the ball away from their playmakers, and we did a good job of coverage. So we got a chance to pin them deep, and then they go on this drive. And I thought our kids, for the most part, was playing well, but then I could see the frustration. So my thing was, let's buy time. Let's let them eat the clock up a little bit. We're going to make a stop at some point in time, and then we'll change up a few things. So they got down. We burnt the timeout to, calm our kids down. Then we got down there, and then we hadn't blitzed our inside backers all year long. Coach Burns was like, well, Coach, what you think about it? I said, well, we hadn't done it all year long, but now's the time. So we decided to blitz our inside backers. We got 3 stops in a row where we made them have to be at 4th and 6. And they came out. It was a little discombobulated, so they called the timeout. I was like, look, guys, I don't know what they're going to do. We're going to let them line up. Once they line up, we'll call a timeout. So they came out of the huddle. They went 5 wide. In my mind, you going 5 wide to kind of spread us out and get us out of position. And you're either going to make something, throw a slant bubble type deal or some type of rub route, or you're going to try to get us out of there and run some type of quarterback draw. So we burnt the timeout to get our kids settled and understood. So we basically told them, all right, if they come out in 2 tights, this is what we're doing. If they come out in 5 wides, we're going to lock up man-to-man, and we're going to bring the house after. And they came out in 5 wides. We brought the house, got him on the ground. They burnt their last time out, and I knew if we got the stop, it was ball game because they didn't have any more timeouts, and we can just take a knee and get up out of there. And when we got the 4th down stop, we took 2 knees, hit victory. And you will hear all football coaches know when you hit victory and you are able to snap that ball and your quarterback can take a knee and hand it to the referee, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
What happened to the clock?
Well, they say it went out, and they was going to keep it on the field. So what they did is they shut all the power off and reset it, and then everything came back up. That's what happened to the clock from my understanding. And, it was one of those things of, Lord, come on now, what else is going on? It was just one of those things where at the end of the day, you just got to deal with it.
It's the Thomson High School pregame show on WTHO. Claude Powell will have more comments from the coach after this.
When your doctor orders an MRI, ultrasound, EMG, or nerve conduction study, relax, stay closer to home, find the industry's latest technology, and pay less than in most larger markets. Their GE Logic 9 ultrasound scanner, for example, offers premium radiology platforms. General scans and even echocardiograms done at regional imaging quickly produce clearer images to help you get better sooner. Choose the best. Request Regional Imaging Center next to Piedmont Hospital, McDuffie.
The employees at Georgia Pacific's softwood lumber production operation in Warrenton are happy to be involved in supporting community events like high school athletics. The 340,000 square foot facility there is one of 15 plants in Georgia alone and a proud part of GP locations in more than 30 states in the U.S. Voted one of America's best large employers by Forbes, take a look at gp.com/careers to see current job openings. Georgia Pacific, an equal opportunity employer manufacturing a future for the next generation.
Popeyes introduces a non-breaded version of the Internet's favorite chicken sandwich, boldly seasoned with Popeyes' unique blackened rub. It's a combination of delicious Louisiana spicy chicken, 2 tangy pickle slices, and mayo on a tasty brioche bun. Try the new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich. It feels lighter but still packs all the flavor. For dessert, it's Popeyes banana cream cake. Popeyes in Thomson on Main.
Beginning the second quarter, Brigham made a beautiful tackle on the receiver. The fans beginning to complain, and a delayed call was made. Explain that to me.
I asked the same question that the fans. I went back and looked at some different, I would say, media posts in dealing with that play. And, you know, in the game of football in high school, and everything we do is judgment calls. You don't have replays. I think college and NFL has it correct now that they'll make a call, but they can go back and look at the replay and change the call if necessary. Well, in high school football, they're just not used to kids hitting like that. They're not used to kids dislodging balls and sacrificing their bodies. And it looked bad, but it wasn't, because he led with his shoulder and he hit him in his chest on film. But I had to burn the timeout, and I asked this question. I say, all right, y'all have targeting. I say, I have no problem with the call that was made because it's a judgment call. I say, the problem that I have is that when the play happened, he didn't throw his flag. And I say, it wasn't like he was reaching for it because I watched it. I say, then we're sending our team on, our punt return team on, because it's fourth down. That kid got up and was almost on the sideline, and because the coaches was raising hell over there, he threw his flag. I say, now that was a lot of time in there, and he decided to wait to throw his flag that late after we were making an exchange. And he said, well, Coach, he said he thought about it, and when he thought about it, he should have made a targeting call. I said, well, that's unacceptable. I said, we're in the semifinals. I know this is the best of the best when it comes to crews, and you mean to tell me we're not throwing flags when the penalties happen and all that? He said, well, Coach, I got to go with my guy. I said, okay. I left it alone. But that was 15 yards that ran some more time off the clock, and then when they punted the ball, that's when the field position flipped and kept us pinned for a couple of series. And it's just one of those things where we had some calls that night that went against us, and you know how I am. Hey, you got to fight through it. Some things that happen, some things don't happen, but at the end of the day, you got to continuously fight through it.
That's it. What happened on the touchdown that was called back on the double pass?
It was in a gray area, as I would say, but the minute we threw the ball, the sideline guy threw his hand forward. So I knew right then and there they counted it as a forward pass. And what we have to do is you have to be behind the quarterback. We can't make that a gray area. We got to make sure we throw it backwards so that we can't be ruled as a forward pass. And I think perfect play call, perfect timing, just didn't execute it well. For me, that's on us. The referee did it right away, forward pass. He stuck his fist out. I can live with that because guess what? You made a call. And whether I agree with your call or not, at least it wasn't 45 seconds later.
There was an unsportsmanlike call on us. What was that about?
It got a little chippy. There was a lot of talking going back and forth. And I felt like our kid was up in the air. The refs were blowing the whistle. They threw our kid to the ground, ripping his helmet off. And anybody that knows me, I'm not going to let nobody mistreat our kids. It just ain't going to happen. And I had to say some choice words, and I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm going to stand up for these kids.
Okay. There was a lot of slipping going on this artificial turf. Did that affect our game at all? Well,
I'll say this. One thing about when our kids are slipping, I go back and look at their kids, and their kids are slipping. That is one of those newer turfs, and that was one of the complaints that some previous coaches that I talked to. Not only did it have me some concerns, it had me with some, we just had to go play on it. I mean, a lot of coaches that I have talked to that went and played at Abilene is like, Coach, when it gets dark, the dew sets on that turf and it gets real, real slippery. And it's just the style of turf that they have. Now, at 12 o'clock, that turf is a whole lot different. It's one of those high-grade college NFL turfs. So, you know, it don't matter how much it rains or how much dew you get, that turf is going to be better for your footing. And we should be fine.
There's still more to come with Coach Michael Youngblood and Claude Powell right after these messages.
Accidents are awful. Repair work for your vehicle shouldn't be. That's why you should send your vehicle to Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop for all your auto, body, and collision repair needs. With over 35 years experience and a highly trained professional team, you can guarantee your vehicle will be in good hands. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop promises to return your vehicle to pre-accident condition or better. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop, 146 East Hill Street in Thomson, 706-595-6775.
When your doctor orders an MRI, ultrasound, EMG, or nerve conduction study, relax, stay closer to home, find the industry's latest technology, and pay less than in most larger markets. Their GE Logic 9 ultrasound scanner, for example, offers premium radiology platforms. General scans and even echocardiograms done at regional imaging quickly produce clearer images to help you get better sooner. Choose the best. Request Regional Imaging Center next to Piedmont Hospital, McDuffie.
Let's talk about defense again. You have the term, they bend but don't break. When Appleton County went to the Wildcat, that one drive, they ate up a lot of the clock, didn't they?
They did. And one of the biggest things about it is we knew eventually they was going to come to it. And we've had several games where we felt like people have just say, all right, let's just go see how tough they are. And the truth of the matter is we just had a couple of misfits where we didn't fit something correctly, or, you know, when they fold block, where the tackle block, where the guard blocks out and the tackle folds back inside, we didn't cross-face the guard because it creates an extra gap if we don't. And it was some things that we didn't do well enough up front to help protect us in those situations, and we have to make sure we do a good job of it. And that's what kind of happened with our fit. We got kind of out of whack a couple of plays. Offenses are always trying to find a +1 situation, and we let them +1 us a little bit more in the second half than we did the first half.
To me, the outstanding play was the last stand of the game. I think you've talked about that a little bit. It seemed like there was a lot of time, and there was a play to go in the penalty, a play to go in the penalty.
We did. Like I said before, they came out in 5 wides. We wanted the man up, take the slants and bubbles and rub routes away, communicated with the kids, and we wanted to bring them. They tried to run a quarterback draw. They tried to fold block it again. They had been getting away with it all game, so we definitely wanted to bring pressure to mess with the fold block. And when they went ready to block out and we sent that pressure up the middle, I felt like it was one of those situations where it was nothing they could do about it by us sending pressure. It worked out in our favor.
To me, the play of the game offensively, headed up by Zacchaeus Jones and Jontavius Curry. Whenever Jones was about to be tackled, Curry had enough forethought to come around, and that shuttle pass, it worked beautifully.
It did, and it wasn't designed. Both of those kids made an adjustment. As a matter of fact, we were going to run Curry through the middle of the field. Well, he slipped and fell. Well, when he slipped and fell, Zacchaeus saw it, and he took off running. And as he was getting tackled, Curry hurried up and got back up and ran right across him, and he was able to shovel it to him. That's basically, when you look at it, not giving up on a play. Because, sometimes you'll have some kids now, they run and slip and fall, and they don't get up like it's hot coals and trying to get somewhere to try to get back to the ball. And that's just a testament of those two guys being able to take something that went bad and using their athletic ability to turn it back right.
More comments from the coach right after these messages.
When your doctor orders an MRI, ultrasound, EMG, or nerve conduction study, relax, stay closer to home, find the industry's latest technology, and pay less than in most larger markets. Their GE Logic 9 ultrasound scanner, for example, offers premium radiology platforms. General scans and even echocardiograms done at regional imaging quickly produce clearer images to help you get better sooner. Choose the best. Request Regional Imaging Center next to Piedmont Hospital, McDuffie.
The employees at Georgia Pacific's softwood lumber production operation in Warrenton are happy to be involved in supporting community events like high school athletics. The 340,000 square foot facility there is one of 15 plants in Georgia alone and a proud part of GP locations in more than 30 states in the U.S. Voted one of America's best large employers by Forbes, take a look at gp.com/careers to see current job openings. Georgia Pacific, an equal opportunity employer manufacturing a future for the next generation.
In celebration of Popeye's 50th anniversary, they're featuring their famous Cajun rice. You know, tender, fluffy rice and Cajun meat. You know you want some, and you don't want to miss this fan favorite for a limited time at Popeye's in Thomson. Also available for delivery through the Popeye's app and DoorDash. If you're craving some Louisiana flavor and Cajun hospitality, be sure to order yours today. Popeye's, Main Street, Thomson.
We'll get them up and get them going and do our normal game day routine. We're taking some weights in our bars up there with us, because we're going to lift weights. We're going to do everything we do normally on game day. And then once we finish that up, we'll get taped and dressed and get ready to play at 12.
How are we doing with injuries?
Well, it's game 15. I mean, it's a blessing. And, you know, you got some bumps and bruises. And I told the kids, hey, you got to sacrifice these 48 minutes now. This don't come around every day.
Right.
I mean, this is something that takes an entire year to put yourself together and work on it, and you're one of two teams that get an opportunity to play in this game in AA football, and you got to take advantage of it. You know, that's the thing that we've been pushing to our kids this week. Offensively, we've had to work on their 3-4 defense. They'll play man-to-man in the secondary sometimes, and then they'll play cover 3. They like rolling the safety down in the box to, you know, get to an 8-man box. But the majority of the time, you know, they like cover 3. They're very active up front. They got linebackers that read really well. They don't like you to kick them out. They try to wrong arm stuff and get it to go over the top and use their speed to run stuff down. And that's pretty much them in a nutshell now on defense. Offensively, they have blended two offenses together. They have blended wing T and single wing. They're running a lot of the same plays out of both of those offenses, but they're just coming at you from different angles. And what we have to do is we can't get caught up in what offense they're trying to run. We gotta make sure that we have our eyes where they're supposed to be at and be disciplined, because they try to lull you to sleep, jump in this, jump in that, and then come with a trick play or come with a screen or try to slip a running back out the backfield. They do things of that nature to keep you off balance. And then their kicker, he usually doesn't kick it deep. I don't expect them to kick it deep to Jontavius Curry anyway. They like to pooch kick right over the first line. So we've kind of worked on that all week and making sure our kids understand that, hey, you got to fair catch it. For the most part, special teams, that they do a tremendous job. They've had a couple of block punts in the playoffs and some different things that have happened for them. So we got to make sure, you know, my biggest thing is try to neutralize it or win it. They are the defending state champs. You know, they have a little bit of big game experience, and we got to go in and we got to play for 48 minutes. That's just the thing. You know, I told our kids, like, you know, they're not just going to hand it over to us and say, well, Thomson finally made it back, and we feel good for them this year, so we're just going to let them have it this year. That's not happening now. We got to go out and we got to play our best game and do what we can do so that we can have an opportunity to win.
We'll be back with Coach Youngblood's final comments right after these messages.
Hoagie Joe's Sports Grill on Railroad is the meal destination before the game. Taste their burgers, steaks, and desserts, and you'll know why they're winners of Best of McDuffie year after year. You'll enjoy appetizers, sandwiches, wraps, salads, and so much more. This family-oriented sports-themed restaurant in the heart of historic downtown is open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Find them at 128 Railroad Street, downtown Thomson. Call ahead at 595-7575 for something delicious from Hoagie Joe's.
Accidents are awful. Repair work for your vehicle shouldn't be. That's why you should send your vehicle to Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop for all your auto, body, and collision repair needs. With over 35 years experience and a highly trained professional team, you can guarantee your vehicle will be in good hands. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop promises to return your vehicle to pre-accident condition or better. Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop, 146 East Hill Street in Thomson, 706-595-6775.
Do they have any special players that we have to pay attention to?
No, they're just a really good, solid high school football team. Number 9 jumps out on film. Offensively, they got a really good offensive line that blocks everything pretty doggone good. We're going to have to win some one-on-one matchups with our kids when it comes to that. Defensively, I told you that the D-line is active. The linebackers do a good job of filling. The outside backers do a good job of wrong-arming stuff and using their team speed to run stuff down. It's not one person that just stands out. It's a collection of kids that they have that work together as one and trying to make things very hard and difficult for people. That's the thing that I have noticed about them. When you can play in Game 15, it's been a pretty doggone good year. There have been some ups and downs. There's been some injuries. Some kids have sacrificed a lot, but in the end, we're as healthy as we can be. These kids, these coaches, the coaches' wives, the coaches' kids, faculty and staff, administration, support staff within our school, our superintendent, our board of education, and our board members have done a tremendous job of helping us and enjoying the ride with us. At the end of the day, you need it. You need it. We thank everybody that has been a part of our program, from all the way from cooking to putting snack bags together, ripping and running, to Sam's, McDonald's, Little Caesars Pizza, to our booster club that feeds our kids and get out there and raise money to make sure these children have everything that they need. And if you have not been a part of it, imagine where we could be at if you do become a part of it. It takes a lot to run a program, and the thing about it is, we want to keep it here. We don't ever want to go back down that tunnel where you are not playing for state titles. That's what we want to do. We want to play for state titles year in and year out. And I know everybody thought I was crazy at the time, but I said that we need to make it to the state championship game and play for a state title. Or, for me, it's a bust. And I like that pressure. I like to put pressure on our kids because life has pressure. Life has ways of knocking you down, and you got to pull yourself back up. And playing football for me and coaching football for me is not pressure. Pressure is when you're looking at that homeless person over there that don't have nothing to eat and nowhere to stay. That's pressure. So I try to show our kids things like that. I try to make sure that we're raising good young men that are going to be productive citizens one day, stand on them about their academics, stand on them about their decision-making, try my best to bring them closer to God. And that's what this program is about. And we thank everybody that has supported us. We thank everybody that has jumped on the bandwagon. We thank everybody that has not supported us. And hopefully we'll see that when it's all said and done, it is truly about the kids and no one else. I'm just at the head of it, trying to steer it in the right direction to make sure things are done for these kids correctly. And as always, Mr. Powell, I thank you for everything that you're doing. I thank the radio show. I thank the sponsors that can have us so that we can continue this. And it's Game 15, baby. And I expect everybody to be in Atlanta, Georgia at 12 o'clock yelling, "Go Dogs!"
You've been listening to Thomson High head football coach Michael Youngblood and Claude Powell on the Thomson High Head Coaches Show on WTHO. We're just minutes away from kickoff and Bulldog gridiron action. Tonight's Head Coaches Show was made possible by Regional Imaging Center, Hokey Joe's, Georgia Pacific Warrenton Lumber, Jimmy and Dina's Body Shop, and by Popeyes in Thomson.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Thomson High School football action. The Georgia High School Association and WTHO FM proudly present the state championship game between the Thomson High Bulldogs and the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes right here in Atlanta, Georgia at Center Park Stadium. Used to be the old Atlanta Braves Stadium, if you're familiar, and has been transferred over to the Panthers of Georgia State, and that's where we are. And we've got a heck of a game for you tonight, or today, I should say, because it's 12 o'clock. I'm used to being tonight, aren't I? It's Fitzgerald, the number 1 rated team in the state in AA, versus Thomson, the number 4 rated team in the state in AA. Matching up in this finality here, Fitzgerald undefeated, Thomson 13-1. Fitzgerald, not only are they rated number 1, they were the state champions last year, undefeated, wearing that state champion, and they have been to the finals 5 times in the last 8 years. So we're talking about certainly a distinguished program, one that competes very well insofar as tradition, a game that is favored by Fitzgerald, they say, by 3 points. If you believe in the computer rankings, that Fitzgerald is favored in tonight's game. Fitzgerald certainly does have a tradition. Thomson has been around since 1912 in our 104th year. Fitzgerald has been around since 1908 in their 111th year with 694 wins, 63% win record. Thomson 689 wins, only 5 wins less, for a 67% win record. Actually, our win record during those years is a little bit better than theirs. They have been to the state finals 8 times, and they have been successful, winning state championships 2 of those 8. Thomson has been to the state championship 6 times and has been successful 5 of those 6. So Thomson has 5 state championships compared to 2 state championships at Fitzgerald. Thomson with 26 region champions, Fitzgerald with 20 region championships. Thomson, of course, number 7 in the state with state champions. We're hoping to move up in that, and hoping that this will be our 6th state championship team. We're the 13th ranked team in the state of all classifications and most wins. Guess what? Fitzgerald has 5 more wins than we do. They're actually ranked higher than we are. They're in the top 10 in most wins. We're in the top 200 in the nation in wins. They're in the top 200 in the nation in wins. We're number 4 in the state in region championships. The last time we went to the state, 2016, a lot of you probably remember that game. It's a game that we featured one of the best players in America, and we thought he was good. We heard that he was good, but boy, was he ever. I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was just simply sensational. We heard that he was the best quarterback in the nation. It turned out to be just that, because if you remember when he was a freshman at Clemson, they beat Alabama. Alabama couldn't stop him. They won the national championship, and not only did he go in the first round, Trevor Lawrence was the first pick in the NFL draft, and we had to face Trevor Lawrence that particular night. Now, there's no question they were talented. Some people said it was the best team in the state of Georgia, regardless of classifications. Yeah, and they were, and maybe they were better than Thomson, but the 7 fumbles that Thomson had that game certainly didn't help matters any. You just can't have 7 fumbles in any game and expect to win, and particularly in a game that you're not favored to win against a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. And the interesting thing to me, to use a term from Wild Bill, is that actually we had more first downs in that game than Cartersville. But those turnovers, boy, they killed us. We came in kind of awestruck with the dome. We were playing the dome. At least we're outside here in this stadium. But remember, the Fitzgerald team has been in the finals 5 times in the last 8 years, so they've been here before. The last time we were in the finals was 2016. We have not. So even though we have 5 state championships and they have 2, the recent memory of those football players goes in the favor of Fitzgerald. They have that. And one thing that Thomson may have is that we have been playing 4A and 3A competition. We have dropped down to AA this year. We haven't been in AA since 1977. So all of this time that we were playing before that, and if you look at this century alone, starting since 2000, we have only missed the playoffs 1 time. And I'll remind you that we were in 4A 10 years, and we were in AAA 13 of those years, and this is the first year of this century that we have been in AA competition. So, hopefully the fact that we have, and these players have been playing 4A and AAA competition until this year, hopefully that will go in our favor. Maybe I'm just wishing. Maybe I'm just hoping. I don't know, but looking for every bright spot that I can find, certainly they'll point to the fact that they've been in the finals 5 times in the last 8 years, and I think that's a legitimate claim. And talking to the radio crew, he said that the first time out of those 5 years, or 5 of the last 8 years that they were doing the radio, he said their team came in and was kind of awestruck, and they were just kind of shell-shocked by the atmosphere and the fact that they were in the finals. That was kind of what happened to us in 2016. We didn't have problems fumbling the football until we got to that game, and I think our team looked in that big dome and all those people, and I think they were a little bit awestruck. Well, the same thing he said happened to Fitzgerald when they were playing in the state championships along this run 5 times in the last 8 years that they have been in. He said they were a little bit awestruck as well. Thomson, of course, won the state championship in 67, 68, then 84 and 85, and then 2002. And then we played in 2016. We were 4A in 2002, and it wasn't but a few years ago we were in 4A. We are now in AA. Now, Fitzgerald, when you look at them, they won a state championship in 48. They were Class A. In 64, they were Class A. In 69, they were Class A. Then they went up to 2000, where they were AAA only one time, and then they dropped back down to AA. 2015, 2016, 2020, 2021, all of that time, they were in playing AA competition because they were in AA. So they've been in AA since 2004. Thomson is in AA this time, the first time in AA since 1977. Is that going to be an advantage? I don't know. The fact that Fitzgerald has been in the finals 5 times in the last 8 years, is that an advantage? I don't know. But it's something that we like to talk about and think about, and looking at stats and all those kind of things. It certainly is something that you might want to consider. Who has the advantage? Fitzgerald, according to the computer, which says none of that matters. Fitzgerald, as I mentioned before, is picked to win this game by 3 points, if you believe in the computer ranking. Obviously, Swainsboro, who was favored by 6 over Prince Avenue, they were defeated last night as they played both of the A competitions last night. Prince Avenue winning one of them, Swainsboro going down. We were, of course, pulling for our neighbors, Swainsboro, the Tigers, long tradition and one of the rivals of Thomson. But they were not successful as they lost theirs, coming in second. Well, here we are. There was 32 of them that made the playoffs, and then there were 16. And then there was 8, the Elite 8. 2 teams out of the top 10 had to be eliminated if you're only talking about 8, and then there were 4. Only 4 teams in the entire state were left. 4 of the best teams in the state, indeed they were. We had to play Appling County. They were every bit as tough as we remembered. Remember, we played them last year in AAA, and they beat us in AAA, and we played them in the Brickyard. This time we played them there in Baxley, and we were able to hold on for a win there. Boy, 4th quarter, South Atlanta, remember that game? 9 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, and then the Baxley game with Appling County, 4th quarter, where we had to have a long touchdown run from Curry to win the ball game in that 4th quarter. We were behind in the 4th quarter. Will this game be like that? I don't know. But we have had a couple of really, really tough games playing the number 2 and the number 3 teams in the state, beating both of those. And now we have to play the number 1 team in the state, because now it's down to 2. The final game of the year. No question about it. There is no next week for either one of these teams. One team will be crowned champion. One team will be crowned runner-up. And both teams will be saying, just wait till next year. What a great season we have had this year. The final game between Thomson and Fitzgerald, the Purple Hurricanes, coming up very shortly. Kickoff time at 12 o'clock. We'll be right back. First, a word from our sponsors, 90-second timeout.
Your number 1 Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson & Knox, is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Most jobs take a few steps to complete. What they shouldn't take are a few thousand actual steps roaming through a big warehouse. Instead, make a quick trip to Ace. Our neighborhood stores have the quality brands you trust, with local experts giving the advice you rely on. So Ace can help you every step along the way.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got everything you need to get your home in shape at Ace, along with our friendly, helpful service.
Those of us that played for the Dogs back in the 80s had a coach whose favorite saying was, anything worth doing is worth doing what? right. At Wallace & Son, we do our best to do things right. We want to get the price right when you're looking for your new Gravely zero-turn mower or Red Max trimmer or blower. We want to do the service right when service is needed, and we want you to know you've been treated right every time you come in. At Wallace & Son, we know that anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. That's Wallace & Son, 201 Gordon Street in Thomson. Wallace & Son, doing things right for 59 years. Go Dogs!
No, it's not that. In Atlanta, Georgia, Center Park Stadium, the finals between Thomson and the Purple Hurricanes of Fitzgerald out of Ben Hill County. We played them twice before. I don't know that those games will have any impact on this because they were 1969 and 1971, so no feelings of revenge or anything else, as Fitzgerald won both of those games, 20-6 and 14-0. In 1969, we played them in the semifinals, and in 1971, they defeated us in the quarterfinals. There is a little bit of a coaching connection here between Thomson and Fitzgerald. Some of you will recall, and certainly I do, when Tucker Pruitt was offensive coordinator in 2011 in Thomson under Mylon Turner. And Tucker Pruitt is just such a delightful young man. I've talked to him a good bit because I was interested in Coach Pruitt because I remember when he played quarterback at Fitzgerald, when his daddy came up from Florida, and that's where he is now, by the way. I didn't know that, but he's back in Florida. But Coach Fitzgerald, his father, Coach Pruitt, not Coach Fitzgerald, Coach Pruitt, Robbie Pruitt, has been coaching for 38 years. And some of that was in Florida, where he won 7 state championships. He came up to Fitzgerald, and he played with a quarterback by the name of Tucker Pruitt. And Tucker is the head coach now of Fitzgerald. When Coach Pruitt came to Thomson, I think by that time he was offensive coordinator, I believe, at Valdosta and Lowndes County. And he left Thomson to go to Coffee County because, as Coach Pruitt said, that he wanted to coach with his dad, and his dad was head coach at Coffee. So Tucker Pruitt, the son and the coach of Fitzgerald, left Thomson in 2012 to go coach with his dad, and then later he was offered the head coaching job at Fitzgerald, and that's where he's taking the position now. He wanted to go home. Certainly don't blame him. The Pruitt name is certainly well known down there in Fitzgerald, and he's just done an outstanding job, certainly. Another coach, though, that you may have heard of was, and it goes way, way back. Some of you may remember this, some of you oldies. Paul Leroy, I know you remember this, that Joe Compton was a head coach from Thomson only for 2 years, and he was a head coach in 68 and 69. He had been a head coach at Fitzgerald for 7 years, from 1960 to 1967, came to Thomson, and in his first year, 1968, we won a state championship. The next year, we lost one game. So Coach Joe Compton has the highest winning record of any Thomson coach. 22-1 is kind of hard to beat that. He has one state championship and, of course, 2 region championships to go to his belt out of 2 years. So Coach Joe Compton, and a lot of Thomson older fans will remember that because they played under him. If they didn't play under him, they certainly remember those golden years, 1967 and 1968 and 1969. 67 and 68, of course, were the 2 state championship years. And so there is a Thomson connection there. Coach Pruitt, he's in his 6th year overall, coaching since 2017, all of them at Fitzgerald as head coach. Coach Youngblood in his 7th year, his 5th year at Thomson. He's been coaching since 2009. 54 wins for Coach Youngblood, 62 wins for Coach Pruitt. Coach Youngblood has a 64% win record. Coach Tucker Pruitt, a 78% win record. All of those at Fitzgerald. One state championship for Tucker Pruitt. One looking for his state championship is Coach Michael Youngblood. He's seeking his very first one. 2 region championships is on the belt of Tucker Pruitt. 2 region championships as well on the belt of Michael Youngblood. Fitzgerald won they won a region championship this year and in 20, and in 21 they did not win a region championship, but they did win a bigger belt, and that was the state championship. So they have been really, really successful. If you go back over the last 3 years for Fitzgerald, you'll see they're at 13-1, 13-2, and 14-0 right now as they come into this game. And earlier I said I think they were undefeated last year. That they were not undefeated, and I beg your pardon. They were 13-2. But Mylon Turner certainly is proud. He's the head coach. And also when Coach Tucker Pruitt was coaching, on that coaching staff was Lee Hutto. who's now the head coach, of course, at Westside. So it was a team that had, counting Milan Turner, who is still a head coach. You had Coach Turner and Coach Hutto and Coach Pruitt, 3 head coaches right there on that same coaching staff. Well, what a coaching staff that was indeed. Tucker Pruitt versus Michael Youngblood. Both of them have been around long enough to know what's going on. Of course, the finals for Coach Youngblood, this is his first time that we've reached the finals. For Coach Pruitt, that's not true. He has been in the finals the last 3 years in a row, actually, winning one of those 3. But the last 3 years in a row, Fitzgerald has been in this position where they have played the finals. Will that make a difference? I don't know if it will or will not, but we're going to talk to Action Jackson here in a moment because he had the advantage, a distinct advantage of playing on the 84 team and 85 team, and I'm going to ask him, coming into the 85, did that give him any advantage, the fact that they had played for the state championship the year preceding, and also talk to him just in general, get his keys to the game, because there's not many people who've been on the field that can say, I've been there, I've done that, but Action Jackson has. And we're going to be right back to talk to him after a word from our sponsors. You're listening to Thomson High School Football Action.
The real taste of Mexico is only found at Habanero's Mexican Grill. Street tacos will quickly become your favorite menu item, too. They start by adding special sauce to 2 smaller round corn tortillas. You choose the meat, steak, chicken, pork, or carnitas, and cilantro, onions, then dip it into green or red sauce. The authentic taste of Mexico, street tacos. Try some tonight at Habanero's Mexican Grill, Washington Road, Thomson.
Queensboro National Bank and Trust knows success is built with teamwork. Queensboro's staff of experienced, knowledgeable personnel is in the business of helping families reach their financial goals. Queensboro National Bank, proud to be your community bank. Come see them at 549 West Hill Street. QNBTrust.Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The heart of your neighborhood. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
I'm attorney Reed Sanders with the Hawk Law Group, and we are your local wrongful death attorneys located right across the street from the courthouse. Growing up here and being a proud graduate of Thomson High School, I'm glad to be able to give back to our community by supporting the Thomson High School Booster Club. Just like a team coming together on the field, we are your team that comes together in the courtroom. So when you have a legal need, get the group, the Hawk Law Group, and go Bulldogs.
State championship game at Atlanta, Georgia, Center Park Stadium, home of the Georgia State Panthers, where Thomson and Fitzgerald will lock up to see who wears that crown. Both of these teams, great traditions. As we mentioned, they have been to the finals 5 times the last 8 years. But let's not forget that Thomson has been in the playoffs the last 13 years in a row and have missed the playoffs only 1 time in this entire century. So those of you who may not be familiar with the Thomson tradition, it's pretty strong. 5 state championships, 26 region championships, 7th in the state in the state championships, 13 in the state in most wins, top 200 team in the nation in wins, number 4 in the state and region championships of all classifications. And I say that for those who may not be familiar with the tradition of Thomson, and particularly for the Augusta Chronicle, who doesn't realize that in Thomson we have a saying: we don't rebuild, we reload. And this coach and this team has done nothing but carry on the great tradition of Thomson as we continue to reload. Yeah, we're going to lose some great players this year. We're going to have some more great players coming back next year, and that's always the way it is. If you go back and look at the Thomson record, Augusta Chronicle, you'll see that we reload. That's what we do in Thomson, Georgia, the Bulldogs, in case you have not been keeping up with the Thomson tradition. But Fitzgerald has a great tradition as well, and they don't rebuild, they reload as well. Not many teams have been on the field 2 consecutive years for the state championship. Not too many players, but the person to my right has been. Action Jackson. How you doing, Dennis? I'm doing good, buddy. Good to see you.
Whoa. You're talking about jitters. I think I'm more nervous now than I was when I was playing.
Because you can't move around and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nerves have to be there, AJ. Going into the, of course, the 84 game, I know the nerves had to be there. In 85, was it any better?
Nope.
Still scared to death.
It was not. It was not. You know, listen, every year has its own personality. We can sit up here and talk, and of course, I can only speak for myself, but we can sit up here and talk about, been there, done that, and I got the T-shirt to prove it and everything like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you played for a state championship or even if you won a state championship the year before. You know, this is a new year. And especially if you think about it, and there are some kids that are in the position that I was in, completely different, because my junior year I wasn't a starter. My senior year I was. You know, we played away junior year, played home senior year. It was so many things that were different.
And you didn't play in the dome. We were home and home.
Exactly. And that's another thing. You know, we had the luxury of, at least my senior year, playing, you know, between the bricks. You know, and I say the luxury. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
You know, because you got all of those fans and everything that are there you're right there in the spotlight. But I guarantee you, there's no other place I would have rather been at that moment.
Oh yeah.
When I went out there and played for my state championship my senior year, I was glad to be between the bricks. Now, you know, we got all this, you know, this pomp and circumstance, and you know, we got big stadiums and everything like that.
But we are outside, not in the dome.
Exactly. We're outside.
Which is more. And also, if you look at their stadium, in the dome, it's, you know, hosts 50,000 or something. This is closed off up high. If you look at the Thomson side over there, compare that with the Fitzgerald side.
Yeah.
Tell me what you see, AJ, when you look over to your right, compare it to the left.
Look, listen, I see a big old island of black and gold over there. And, of course, there's that drop-off, you know, and you got just fans that are right there together to get ready to enjoy. You know what? It's amazing to see all of the fans that I'm seeing here, that they are actually filling up this college stadium on one side.
I don't think they have that many when they have their college games.
Yeah.
The ones I've seen on TV.
It is amazing.
We're from goal line to goal line over there, and it's about 15 rows high. And Thomson fans, that you can see them coming in, you can see a lot of black and gold. Now, Fitzgerald has a lot of folks, too.
Yes, they do.
They're mostly from the 40 to just in a small area, but they go up a little bit higher than ours does. The stands over here are more the home stands, where we're on the visiting stands. But we have a lot more people here. It's very easy to see than Fitzgerald. There's a lot more black and gold than there is purple out there.
Definitely. And we're still filing in. We're still coming in.
Look at the entrance over there.
Yeah.
All you see is black and gold
there. Yeah, there's black and gold coming into the entrance. You know, it is amazing how the community has turned out for these guys. They deserve every bit of it. And I'm proud. I'm proud to see the numbers that we have.
AJ, the band is in the end zone. And look above the band.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah, we still see more black and gold.
Yeah, in the end zone. They're sitting down here in the end zone.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people here. I mean, they are out. I don't know how many buses came up. But obviously, I was wondering if a 12 o'clock game, how many will we have? Because these people probably had to leave Thomson at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something. The team came up last night. I don't know what time the cheerleaders and band came up, but the band is here. The cheerleaders,
cheerleaders are here.
They are here.
Yeah, I ran into them on the way in here. So they are here.
Oh, I see them down there. They're sitting in the stands right now, just right below the band. I mean, look, if your neighbor isn't there, I have a good idea where he is. If they're listening to me. And by the way, is anyone listening to us? I had a lot of calls. Charlie Hudson called me saying that he's not able to come to the game because he's just not able to drive, but he says he's going to listen to every word as he has for the last 2 or 3 years. He said he may watch it on TV, but he's going to be listening to us on WTHO. Larry Dunn, the athletic director, texted me first thing this morning and says, pulling for you all the way, Bulldogs.
All right.
Bring home this championship. So, we've got a lot of people who aren't here that we know are listening are going to be watching as well. But I'm telling you, there is a ton of Thomson people here for this state championship game, and what a game it's going to be. Number 1 versus number 4. Fitzgerald undefeated at 14-0. Thomson 13-1, losing that first game to Burke County. When you look at Fitzgerald, they beat Irwin County. Irwin County, a really good A team. Then they turned around and beat Kearney County, another good A team. They beat Northeast, a double A team. Then they beat Madison out of Florida. Then they defeated Dodge, Worth County, Jefferson Davis, Sumter, Cook. They beat Cook 36-14, Berrien 34-20 in the playoffs, defeating Central of Macon 41-0, defeating Putnam County only 28-20. That was out of our region, if you recall, beating Rockmart 21-14, And Fellowship Christian, they defeated them 19-9. Fitzgerald's a team, AJ, they play on natural turf, and they have no desire to change that. And right now, we're going to take a 90-second timeout to pause for our national anthem.
Thomson's Napa Auto Parts is in their new location at 317 West Hill. You'll find the same friendly folks with dramatically more in-stock inventory in their spacious new home just down the street. A long-time hometown original. Check out the new Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Kevin and the crew look forward to seeing you and keeping you on the road with their Napa know-how. Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Parts on which you can rely from people you know and trust. Now at 317 West Hill.
Thomson Plastics, one of our area's leading employers and civic-minded industrial providers, is pleased to support our local high school athletic programs by sponsoring Thomson High School football game coverage here on WTHO. From product design to just-in-time delivery, Thomson Plastics is a clear leader in the injection molding industry. With 3 locations, including 130 Quality Drive in Thomson, they might be a good fit for you, too. Visit ThomsonPlastics.com to learn more about employment opportunities in the Contact Us link.
There's an old saying, you can't sell from an empty wagon. So, the Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs loaded our wagon with over 100 rolls of no-wax vinyl, over 100 rolls of carpet, over 20 pallets of waterproof vinyl plank flooring, and over 500 area rugs. Our stores buy at the lowest prices and pass the savings on to our customers. You will love our selection and prices. The Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs, 50 years old and looking to the future.
State championship game. It doesn't get any better than this between number 1 and number 4. Fitzgerald averaging 32 points a game on average. Thomson averaging 41. I give you these stats because they're interesting, but I'm not sure how much they mean when you've reached this point of the season. The one thing that is significant, I think, is the average points per game allowed. Thomson only giving up 10. They give up 12. What that means is both teams have outstanding defenses, even though everybody likes to talk about offense. When you talk about offense, you can talk about Curry and Jeffrey and Lane, Earth, Wind, and Fire, certainly. They run a kind of a three-platoon system of runners as well with Solomon, Davis, and Williams. Their average, the lowest average they have per carry is 5.4. Both of these teams like to run the football, but they don't have the yardage that the Thomson players do. Curry is a 1,200-yard runner. Trey Jeffries has over 1,000, and Jordan Lane is right under 500. So you can see that all 3 of those players are certainly accomplished. They're led by a kid by the name Cooper, and Cooper is an outstanding quarterback. He's been around. He played in the state championship game last year. He's a senior, 6'3", 210 pounds. He's not that much of a runner, but he throws the ball very well. When he does throw it, he's a 66% completion. 94 for 141, has thrown for 1,380 yards. Thomson has Jones is really the starter, but we still run a 2-quarterback system. Jones is a better runner of the 2 according to the stats, and according to the stats, Story is the better passer of the 2. As you can see, Jones completes 55% of his passes, Story 69%. So of the 3 quarterbacks, actually Noah Story has the best completion at 69% compared to 66 and 55. Story has only 2 interceptions, but Jones only has 3. So between them, they only have 5 interceptions. That's just outstanding for high school quarterbacks. Of course, turnovers. Good gracious alive. AJ and I both remember the 2016 game where it seemed like every time we touched the ball, we would fumble. Yeah. Boy, that'll just kill you. It will. And against the Trevor Lawrence, yeah, you can't do that. And let me tell you, if we have 7 fumbles in this game, we're not going to win this one either.
No, there's no way about it. This is a championship game. You don't want to give your opponent more opportunities to score, and you especially don't want to give them more opportunities to score deep in your territory. So we got to take care of the football. That's a must.
And that's interceptions as well, but both of our quarterbacks have played very well. Not throwing many interceptions, 3 and 2 for both of those quarterbacks. They don't throw the ball interception-wise either. Both teams hold on to the ball. It'll be interesting to see what the artificial turf will influence that'll have. Last week we slipped and we did a lot of slipping and sliding. I'll tell you, so Fitzgerald, as I mentioned before, they've got regular ground too. Mm-hmm. So they said last week when they played the Fellowship Christian that one of the first plays, Fellowship Christian quarterback went in his own end zone and he slipped on the natural ground for a safety.
Yep, sure did.
So you can see it goes to the advantage of what you're used to.
What you're accustomed to. You're right. Mm-hmm.
But in this case, both of us have the same disadvantage, if you will. Thomson's co-captains are about to take the field. Thomson will be the visiting team dressed in white with the black breeches and the gold helmets. I see number 41 over there its co-captain will be Babs, and I'll give you the rest of them as they come on the field. 43 is Hart, who's been a co-captain most of the year. The funny thing is, or not funny, but it's really fun for me and entertaining to watch, AJ, when we come onto the field as we're lining up and we have 3 rows deep and led by, I think it's number 30, Curry, Travian Curry. Mm-hmm. He's leading the pack and goes out and does a full backward somersault.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that something?
Who can do that? I know you can. No, other than you and Travian. I'm not even sure I could get to the point where I land on my head.
No way. But, they've been doing it all season, and of course, like you said, that's something that I just, if that motivates you, hey, that motivates you. Of course, I want to make sure that after they do that flip, that they come down, even and don't mess up anything, because that's what I'm concerned about. I hate to have one of them get hurt, but you know what? That is the personality and the characteristics of that football team. And if that works for them, then let's flip and let's go out and have a good time.
Thomson co-captains, you may be able to hear the noise. That's just the co-captains coming on the field for Thomson. Now here they come from Fitzgerald, so now you hear the Fitzgerald crowd as well. Huge turnout, and what makes it impressive is this is the first game. So there's no one else here.
No one else is here but Fitzgerald and Thomson.
And Thomson is loading up. As a matter of fact, on the stands or down there on what they would call the field level, there's very few seats, and a lot of Thomson fans are going in the end zone back over here to our right. That's where the band is, where the cheerleaders are. Those that are not on the field, the cheerleaders are on the field as well, and the co-captains are coming onto the field. There's a big monitor. I'm not sure how much of it they'll play. We don't have now this is the only bad thing about the stadium. We're kind of in a corner of the end zone. We're not on the side.
Yeah, we're not on the side.
So we would be right where home plate used to be when the Atlanta Braves were playing here. Mm-hmm. So the two teams are out in the field. They're in purple jerseys with the white breeches or silver breeches. Of course, Thomson in the white, being the so-called visiting team as it is. I'm not sure what advantage that is.
Another good thing about it, I think it does have an advantage. When you look at our side, the way that the stadium is, our fans are closer to the sideline. They're closer to our sideline, whereas with Fitzgerald, they're kind of pushed back a little bit.
Yeah.
So that I think that it feels more like the comfort that you would have if we were in the brickyard or something like that. So, we'll see how that works out.
Fitzgerald has won the coin toss and elected to receive. As I see, big number 74 down there for Thomson as a co-captain, as well as Kane Coulter. Trying to put some of our big kids up there. Maybe we can intimidate them a little bit. One thing about it, you're not going to intimidate this Thomson crowd. I know I'm reiterating it. I don't want to beat it to death, but it reminds me of the pre-pandemic crowd. We had the pandemic, of course, people were just afraid to get out. But everybody, it looks like, is here following the Thomson tradition. That's what has made the Thomson tradition, or a large part of it. As my own son Reed and Shane would tell me, when the Thomson fans are there, you don't even know you're tired.
Yeah, and you know what? When they applaud, it sounds like a roar.
Yeah.
It's a different sound. It really is. That's just how deep we are here in Atlanta. Thomson is out in droves.
And here comes the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes to the approval of the Fitzgerald fans. And here come the Thomson Dogs. And now listen to the crowd difference. Holy
my goodness. Like I said, it's like it's a roar.
Wow. So Thomson will be on defense first. And I'm not sure I don't know if that's all bad for Thomson. Remember, the last time we were in the finals was 2016. Get a few hits out of the way. I've always kind of thought that maybe was an advantage, although, Fitzgerald elected to take the football. We have in the last couple of weeks. So I guess it's just, what do you like, Chevy or Ford? But I always thought that maybe it's better because you have so many jitters. If once you get hit or you get to hit, once there's some contact, it kind of gets rid of that.
Yeah, it kind of settles you in a little bit. I think you're absolutely right with that. Me personally, I would rather see our defense out there first. I think because our defense, when it comes down to it, our defense is the team that stepped up. Of course, our offense is amazing, but I like to see our defense kind of set the tone for this. And if you're going to make some of those mistakes, it's probably better to make those mistakes on the defensive side of the ball than it is the offensive side of the ball. Of course, you don't want to make any mistakes, but there's some miscues. If you're going to have miscues, you probably would want to have them on the defensive side of the ball early.
Special teams, it's only important in close games. Let's hope that special teams, if it comes into play, goes in the favor of Thomson. Number 95 kicking off of Thomson, certainly one of the good ones that we've ever had. Giles kicking off now from right to left, and it's going to come down and around the 15-yard line. Remember, I'm in the end zone. At the 20, the 25, we hit him and knocked him out of bounds to the approval of the Thomson fans, who says good coverage, and indeed it was.
Definitely. And, of course, this is different already because they're going to start inside their own 30-yard line. We had trouble with that last week. As you know, they were starting possessions close to midfield. So it's a good job that we did here. Now let's see how the defense is going to come out and handle this Purple Hurricane offense.
At the 27-yard line is Fitzgerald. Remember, their quarterback is a good one. They like to run the football, but he can throw it. 66% completion record. Cooper is his name. And they go to the right side, trying to find a little seam, and they get it out past the 30 to around the 32, 33, about a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, and no question about it. They've seen something on tape, and I bet you that they're going to try to see how that's going to work. And of course, we're talking about that middle, where they like to block down on that middle that middle nose guard, get some extra bodies out there on our linebackers to try to exploit the middle. We've done a good job earlier in the season. We've had a little problem with it now. Let's see if we can put it to use today.
Second down and 5 as they try to go to the right side and hit right after he gets through the line of scrimmage, short of the first down to around the 33, maybe the 34.
And that's what they have done with the first 2 plays of the game. They've gone directly at us, going straight up the middle. We've done a fair job so far of sticking in. Key third down right here. Very key third down. If we stop them here, more than likely they will punt.
Cummings is in there on the nose, and I think it's Sally White is on one end, yeah. And Jones on the other on this 3rd and 3 possession down, trying to run the ball up inside, finds a seam. We hit him. I don't think he made it. He's around the 35, and that's shy of the first down.
That is shy of the first. And I tell you what, they insisted on doing that. They insisted on running up the middle all 3 plays. I don't know if that's to try to figure out if they could set the dominance to say that our offensive line is better than your defensive line, or maybe they tried to do that inside trap, which worked so well for the other teams before we stopped it. 4th down, looks like they might be going for it.
4th and 2, they're lining up. Let's see if they shift out of it or simply try to draw us back. They're going. There's a timeout has been called.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they had I don't even think it was a fake punt because I don't think they even came out in a punting situation, but they were running it. So we got the timeout.
Timeout has been called here. 4th down and 2 to go for the first down between Thomson and Fitzgerald. First possession of the game. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Hey, folks, it's the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne at Sunset Auto Sales. Are you having to use buckshot on the reindeer to get your old sleigh moving every day? Well, hurry on down and trade that old sleigh on a new one that shines like Rudolph's red nose. Come see Mary Mad Missy, that elf on a shelf, Crazy Kris Kringle, and yours truly, the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne. 1409 Washington Road, Thomson, Georgia, 706-595-9553.
Solomon, running back for Fitzgerald, averages just under 7 yards a carry. Davis averages about 5.5. That's their 2 running backs, and they split it out wide. Thomson now saying, if you want to punt, go ahead. We're not going to send anyone deep. We're playing defense.
Yeah, this is not even a punt situation. They're going for it.
4th and 2. Thomson has some movement. Did we jump off sides?
Now Fitzgerald's going to get a timeout.
They were trying to bring us off and almost did. I saw number 43, Hart, he was showing a run blitz. They take a timeout with the score 0-0, 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Thompson's yet to touch the football. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Your number one Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson and Knox is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
And we'll try it again. Fourth down. It started off 4th and 3. Now on the board is showing 4 and 1. It was 4 and 2. One more time out. I guess it'll be a first down as they're running the football, trying to get wide. Picks up the first down to the 45, to the 50, down to the 45, and goes out of bounds at Thomson territory at the 40. As we were clogging it up inside, expecting them to go that way, and instead they took it outside to the right, and they picked up a much-needed first down. Fitzgerald, 1st and 10 from the Thomson 40.
Yeah, just real good patience that time. As he looked in there, looked like they wanted to punch it up through there again, and he just did a little side step out to the side. And once he got out there was only one man to beat, and he was able to beat him and get the first down.
So 1st and 10 from the Thomson. Let's make it the 39-yard line as they try to run wide to the left side as a whistle stops the play of action. As the yellow hanky is thrown.
It's like defense is going to, it's going to be against them. So that's going to put them behind the chains. Fitzgerald.
Down will remain first. And they're sending in some new players, so evidently a new play. Coach Tucker Pruitt, offensive coordinator in Thomson, 2011. Now breaking the huddle. Cooper, number 1, at quarterback. Big 6'3" kid, 210 pounds. Trying to run up inside. A lot of movement, a lot of action, but nothing there. Very short yardage.
Yeah, and they like to do that. They like to have a lot of motion stuff and getting in and out of positions, but it always comes back to the same thing. Of course, they have different packages, as we've seen already, sometimes substituting up to 5 people at one time. But I think it's just basically smoking mirrors. They're going to do the same thing that they normally would do.
Pickup of 2, so it'll make it 2nd down and 13.
The tight formation here
at the 42 as they try to run something to the left side. Picks up a couple of yards to the original line of scrimmage, but not much more than that, if any.
Excellent job that time by the corner coming up and making him turn himself in.
Number 4 coming up and making that stop along with number 43. That's Hunt and Hart.
Excellent job of keeping him inside. It was a tight formation. Tried to kind of give us a little trick to make it think that we were going to go between the tackles. Tried to go outside with it, but we were having none of that. Great pursuit by our linebacker, cornerback. Great job of coming up and filling in.
Trips out to the right side, single over to the left. Man in motion to the left side. Back to pass. Looking left, then looks right for a little screen, and we hit him and tackle him immediately. Wow, did he read that one perfectly? 33, isn't that Hart?
Perfectly, he read that one. Yes, Hart on that one.
Second on the team in tackles with 109. So that brings up a 4th down. Now let's see if they're going to go for this. 4th and 11? No, I wouldn't think so. And now they're back in punt formation.
Now we got twins over here. Still need to make sure that they are accounted for.
And now finally someone's getting over there.
Got to get 2 people out here.
Thomson not sending anyone deep, and they are punting it. High end over end punt coming down at the 10-yard line and takes a Fitzgerald bounce, and they'll down it right there. So Thomson doesn't have great field position. We wish we could have stopped them earlier. We would have had unbelievable position, but we still have good field position at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Fitzgerald's first possession was not successful, although they picked up some yardage, certainly, as they picked, in 7 attempts, they picked up 40 yards rushing, so they were averaging 6.5 yards a carry of that. So here goes Thomson. Let's see what the Thomson offense can do. Remember, both of these teams have solid defensive. Teams like Thomson giving up 10, teams like Fitzgerald giving up 12. That's why they make it to the finals. In at quarterback, number 6, Curry. Wideouts left and right. He's got back there, or Jones rather. Curry is back there with Jones. and we're going to go with the quarterback keeper. Good call because everybody was looking for Curry, and he gets it out to the 20.
Excellent job. Great job. And I like the formation because, like you said, it gives Fitzgerald a lot to think about. You got a quarterback. You got your quarterback back there. You got your running back. Then you got a guy coming in motion. You got a lot of things that defense has to think about. And I think using that formation is really to our advantage.
Remember, Jones, out of the Wildcat, we're showing Curry. No, beg your pardon. He's in a pistol. But Jones has over 400 yards rushing. And we hand it off to Curry this time as he crossed the 20 to the 22, 23. Close to the first down, just depending on that progress.
Yeah,
and I think he made it, didn't he?
Yeah, they're telling him move the chains.
Move the chains. Thompson is not, this offense this year has not been that much of a move the chains type of offense. It's more been kind of a touchdown.
Yeah,
where
explosive.
Explosive. Thank you for helping me. I needed that. Explosive offense. Now you got Jones back there again, still with Curry. Curry a senior, Jones a junior. Got a wing on the left side, wingman in motion to the right. We're coming down quarterback keeper as he faked it to Curry. I'd like to see him hand that one off. Looked like he might have had some room over there.
I want to test them a little bit on that edge. I want to see what their speed is on the edge when you have someone like a Curry that's going to test them on that. I think that they're waiting for the right time to do it, and I just to see what they've got going on. Of course, they know about his explosiveness, but I want to test it. I want to see them test it.
Jalick Johnson out wide to the left along with Lane. That's your two receivers out there. Curry in the backfield with Jones. Here we come down the line, and we almost fumbled it. Jones decided to keep it. He put it in Curry's belly. Curry wanted the football.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give it up.
We had a little bit of a tug of war, a tug of ball there for a second. I think you're right. I think Curry was like, give it here.
He saw some room over there, but so did Jones, and Jones picked up yardage, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for the first. Possession down here from the Thomson 31-yard line. Twins out to the right side. Movement on the part of Fitzgerald. No one jumps out enough. 10 seconds on the play clock. Changing the plays, perhaps. Putting a man in motion. Quarterback keeper to the left side. He picks up the first down to the 30. Flag is thrown. It comes out to the 46-47. But I think that's going to come back.
Yeah, that's going to come back. That's right in the area of maybe a hold or something like that. I tell you, we already had the room. And that's another thing. That's one thing that we really, that awareness that we have to have. We only needed about 2 yards for that. We had that immediately. I mean, as soon as the ball was snapped, they collapsed that line, and we were able to get that first down. But, no doubt about it. We've got the replay up here, and we kind of just pulled that that defensive lineman down with us, but we had the first down.
Now it's 3rd down and about 8 to go for the first down. It's not just a penalty, it's win or the penalty.
Yes.
3rd down and 8. Let's hope that doesn't make a difference. Rolling to the right, looking to throw the football. Has a man out in the flats open, complete for the first down. And they were in a zone coverage evidently because there was no one around number 11, Moss.
Yes, they were. They were zoning it. And the thing about it is that we flooded a zone to their left side. We put a man deep. Then we had another man with an intermediate route. And he was able to put it perfectly in between those two for a great catch that time by Moss. Jaden Moss gets the first down.
Maybe they're afraid of the speed that Thompson has. When you play a zone, play a man-to-man, you better have speed. The zone tends to negate that some. It also helps you with the run defense. So it's 1st and 10 Thomson from their own 41-yard line. No score here in this one. Man in motion from left to right is Curry. Curry turns, but looking down the middle. Open, and overthrows.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that was a touchdown.
That was a touchdown. And that's one of those things, again, where the route was more of a corner post. He was headed corner post, but the throw was more of a fly. Yeah. And if he would have just led him in that corner post where he was going, it would have been an easy 6. But he threw it over his head as if it was a fly. Just, probably a little too much going on in that system right now. I got to get it out of him.
2nd and 10. We go back to the run. Quarterback on the keeper trying to turn the corner on the left side. Find some running room over there to the 50, to the 45. Goes out of bounds 42, and another penalty is going to be, and I think that's going to be on Brigham.
Yeah, and they're going to get him.
The block.
Yeah. Yeah, that just, again, we have to be careful as to what we're doing on that, especially out on the edge. On the edge, when those defensive backs try to get away from you, you've got to stop with the block. You just got to stop with the block. We've got a way of looking at it up here on our, now that I see it in the replay.
Of course, we couldn't see it from the side.
Yeah, we couldn't see it. We definitely couldn't see it from what he was saying.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9 after that penalty.
Yeah.
2 penalties for Thomson thus far.
Yeah, from what I was looking at, looks like that was just a pretty doggone good block then.
Brigham certainly would agree with you.
Yeah, Brigham thinks so too, and I have to agree with him.
2nd down and 9. We go to Curry. Curry trying to find a seam. Curry makes the cut. Curry at midfield. Curry at 45. Curry at the 40. Curry at the 35. Curry at the 30. Curry at the 20. Adios. Goodbye. Touchdown, Dogs.
Gone. That's it. And when you have the speed of a Curry like that, that was the perfect downfield block. Basically, all he did was shielded the defensive man by him. He was able to get through there with that speed. 6 points, easy.
And there goes Curry. Look at that kid run on the replay.
Goodness.
They weren't going to catch number 6. The extra point attempt.
Oh, the speed.
By Giles.
It was a high
kick
step.
Up. Good follow through, and the kick is good. Here we are with 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Thomson with the lead. It's Thomson 7, Fitzgerald 0. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got everything you need to get your home in shape at Ace, along with our friendly, helpful service.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Curry makes it 6, and the extra point by Giles makes it 7. Thomson has an early lead with 4:24 to go in the first quarter. A lot of watch parties going on. I'm getting some texts. Reed's got a party at his house, he said.
Right.
He's got a group over there watching and listening to us. Riri, got your text. Thank you. Dogs looking good so far with 4:24.
I tell you what, and again, we saw how good the blocking was on the line, which they've been doing a great job all season long. It was an excellent job on that line. And then once he got into the secondary of Fitzgerald, we saw a great shield block, like I like to call a shield block. And when you've got someone like Curry running the football, that's basically all you have to do is shield that defender from him, because he only needs a half a step. And then after that happened, he was able to get in there for 6 points. He didn't even really have to engage the defensive back, and it was an easy 6 points that time for Curry.
Now the kickoff by Thomson. Line drive coming up, hitting at the 20, picks it up at the 15, back to the 20. Now trying to get wide, finds a little seam, and hit by 2 Dogs, taken down near the 30-yard line. Good field position around the 30, 31, 32. 1st and 10 Fitzgerald. Thomson leading here 7-0.
Now with this being the second possession of Fitzgerald, something's telling me that I'm looking for something completely different from them. I think they wanted to test the waters inside between the tackles to see what they could do now. I think now they're going to probably try to go off tackle, something around the ends, They want to test that part about it. Let's see how the defense holds up with it.
Running to inside, then trying to get outside. Find some white shirts, but able to get a seam out to around the 35-yard line, a pickup of a couple. Thomson leading here 7-0.
Right now, very content with trying to get that running game established. Of course, what we don't need to do, especially in the secondary, is kind of fall asleep on there because they're probably going to try to hit us deep with the pass. That secondary needs to be aware of that.
Second down, 6 to go after that 4-yard run. Trying to run with the Wildcat over the center and maybe the left guard, slung back near the 36-yard line. Number 41 up there real tight is Babbs, the middle linebacker for Thomson. Thompson's defense is led by Curry with 122 tackles, then Hart 109, Brigham with 81, and Babbs with 73. That's your top four. Then Norman, the cornerback, with 57. Sure tackler number 23, the right cornerback.
I tell you what, that time one of our defensive tackles sort of got manhandled there. We don't want that to happen. That's a quick count.
3rd and 3, and just hit out of bounds. And that's just a solid defensive play by number 4. You know who he is.
Oh,
Storm
my
Hunt.
goodness. Stormtrooper over there making sure he doesn't get that first down. It's going to be close, but I don't think they've got it.
Boy, he gave him a hit, too, didn't he? Storm's not a big kid. Made a big hit.
There you go. Made a big hit. You're right. 4th down. I think they're going to go for it again. This is state championship football. Even in their territory, they're going to try to get this first down.
Babbs moving around. They're trying to move him around, and they're going to run it to the right side. Close. Did he make it? Thompson fans say he didn't, but I'm not sure. It's close.
My goodness, that's going to be awfully close. And they're saying it's enough for a first down.
We needed one.
They're saying that it is enough for a first down, and now, this is one of those times where you would like to get a measurement, but of course it's not like it was in the old days where you can ask for one, they give it. It's completely up to the officials if they want to have a measurement.
And we're not on the side. We're in the end zone, so it's awfully hard for us to tell. But I guess he made the one, obviously. Thompson fans didn't think so.
And that was probably all he made.
Trying to run the football
misdirection a little bit here.
Left side. And you see 5, 6 white shirts in on the tackle.
Yeah, we're just not having it. We're not having it. They're trying to misdirection, and that's not getting them anywhere. I'm telling you, we're defensively sound, especially when it comes to running the football, trying to figure out if they're going to try to do something a little bit different than what they're trying now.
Boy, Coach Pruitt, he's a gambler, but somewhere along the line it's going to come up snake eyes. You can't keep running against a team like a Thomson defense and expect to win every one of them. Back to pass, looking, trying to hit a man on a post pattern, and it's going to be complete at the 20, complete at the 10, into the end zone for a long touchdown pass.
And that's the pass that I was telling you about. You knew at some point in time they were going to try that pass. They were going to try to hit you deep because we've seen it so many times against us. Too many guys. We got a lot of guys in that box. And I knew that they were going to try it, left them out there one-on-one. I think that they wanted to call it a pass interference, which I'm not so sure if that was a pass interference. I think their feet just got caught up. But they're going to use that on the kickoff.
Going for one to tie it up with 1:51 to go in the game. On a long post pattern. Good snap, good hold. The kick looks good, and it is. So it's all tied up. 1:51 to go in the first quarter. It is Thomson 7, Fitzgerald 7. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Those of us that played for the Dogs back in the 80s had a coach whose favorite saying was, anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. At Wallace & Son, we do our best to do things right. We want to get the price right when you're looking for your new Gravely zero-turn mower or Red Max trimmer or blower. We want to do the service right when service is needed, and we want you to know you've been treated right every time you come in. At Wallace & Son, we know that anything worth doing is worth doing what? right. That's Wallace & Son, 201 Gordon Street in Thomson. Wallace & Son, doing things right for 59 years. Go Dogs!
Their senior quarterback, who is a good one, Cooper, is not in there much for running. He doesn't run the ball very often. 6'3", good tall-looking kid. But he can throw the football, and he does right there. Hands off for the run, but when he goes back in the pocket, you better start getting in position because it's coming.
No doubt about it, because it's coming. And so is the rain now.
Yeah.
The rain is coming down. We're going to see how much that's going to play a part. Now, with that penalty, which is a 15-yarder, that's going to put them in our territory for the kickoff, and that's going to probably negate, a kickoff return, which, that's something that we would have loved to have had, but it's probably going to negate that for Curry. Curry is going to be is going to be back deep. Let's see if he can get this one in the end zone.
And with Coach Pruitt, you better look out for an onside kick.
Exactly, because I'm with you. With this right here, you might as well try an onside kick.
Just trying to kick it over in the corner, and he's out of the end zone. I'm not sure if it went through the end zone or if it went out of bounds, which would give us better field position.
Yeah, I think they're calling it a touchback from the indication that we saw there. And that's good because, like you say, you get a 15-yard penalty, and you're kicking the ball from, the other team's territory already. Might as well try a little onside kick, but we'll keep that to ourselves.
7-7, kicking from the 20, or starting our offense on the 20. In the backfield is Jones along with Curry. Wide outs number 13. That's Jalik Johnson in the slot. Handing it off to Curry. Curry looking for a seam and does out to the 35, 36, 37. Good pickup.
Great pickup.
27, I should say.
And the yards after contact. We don't talk about it that much with him because he's so explosive, but he has a lot of strength in those legs, too, as he was able to pick up about another 4 or 5 yards after initial contact.
Curry's about 170 pounds, but if you look at him without pads, he's pretty thick. He doesn't carry on a lot of fat grams. Second down and about 3 after that good 7-yard carry. Man in motion from left to right. We give it to Curry. Curry trying to get wide. Curry turns the corner at the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, near midfield, and certainly a first down. I see no flags down.
I see one, and it's definitely coming back because we reached out and touched somebody. No doubt about that. That was a hole. I saw that one.
Another hole. Thompson's third hole of the game.
And it is legitimate. We're getting some boos here. I saw it from up here, and it was right in front of the lead referee, and I'm sure that he saw it too. As we actually reached out that time. We reached out and grabbed the defender. So we are holding. We did hold on that.
Well, we did a good job of holding because he went to midfield, but unfortunately that's got to come back. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as we see on the replay, we reached out and grabbed him. So
no doubt about it. So now it's 2nd and 14. Back to our 15-yard line thereabouts, really the 16, I guess. Timeout's being called here on the field. And I think that's Thomson calling the timeout. Mm-hmm. Let's take one as well. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
The real taste of Mexico is only found at Habanero's Mexican Grill. Street tacos will quickly become your favorite menu item, too. They start by adding special sauce to 2 smaller round corn tortillas. You choose the meat, steak, chicken, pork, or carnitas, and cilantro, onions, then dip it into green or red sauce. The authentic taste of Mexico, street tacos. Try some tonight at Habanero's Mexican Grill, Washington Road, Thomson.
So 3 15-yard penalties, or is it 10 or 15 for hold? 10-yard penalties.
But remember now, it's at the spot of the foul.
That's true.
And sometimes we are about 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage when it happens. So it is about a 15-yard penalty.
And the thing that's kind of frustrating if you're a fan is that when you give it to someone like Curry's got so much speed.
Not necessary. Thank you.
That defensive tackle that was being held is not going to catch
He's not going to catch him. Exactly.
Second down and 14, passing down perhaps for Jones. Jones trying to hit a man deep, has a man wide open and complete at the 50-yard line, going down the field, trying to get to the right side, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, tripped up near the 5-yard line. Got in there. It's going to be first and goal for the Dogs after that long, long pass. Number 43, the receiver on that, was Hart, Shaquan Hart.
I tell you what, that play has worked so well for us throughout the season. Great touch that time by the quarterback, Jones. He led him perfectly. He was able to get it and get down there. Only thing about it is that
Curry and Hart were right together. Obviously a busted pattern. I wish it could have been Curry. He could have taken it.
Yeah, you're right. But, you know, the way that goes, I think that it was meant for Hart. That was his ball.
First and goal from inside the 5-yard line, up the middle, driving hard, close to the end zone. Thompson says they have it, but the official says, no, you don't. Trey Jeffries, the ball carrier. So it'll be second and goal from the 1. And I did notice, though, that I don't know if you saw or not, Curry made a very effective block.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Made a great block that time. Else they probably would have gotten them somewhere around the 30 or 20-yard line.
And Hart, of course, one of the leading tacklers on the team, he's a linebacker. And a timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. Thomson 7 and Fitzgerald 7, end of the quarter. 7-7 going in the second quarter. You're listening Thompson High School football action.
At Queensboro National Bank and Trust, they're celebrating 120 years of community banking. More than a bank, Queensboro is your headquarters for financial education and targeted planning to achieve your goals. Queensboro National Bank is proud to be your community bank. QNB Trust.Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
The heart of your neighborhood. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
I'm attorney Reed Sanders with the Hawk Law Group, and we're your local wrongful death attorneys located right across the street from the courthouse. Growing up here and being a proud graduate of Thomson High School, I'm glad to be able to give back to our community by supporting the Thomson High School Booster Club. Just like a team coming together on the field, we are your team that comes together in the courtroom. So when you have a legal need, get the group, the Hawk Law Group, and go Bulldogs.
Team speed certainly a factor for Thomson as we have it second and goal on the 1-yard line, 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. But team speed really one good play on the part of Fitzgerald, I should say, as they ran a great pass pattern, a post, led perfectly by Sultan Cooper, their quarterback. So Thomson has 97 yards passing. They have 56 at the end of the first quarter. Thomson leading also in rushing with 100-51 at the end of the first quarter. So starting the second quarter and a long timeout here for TV. No turnovers so far in the game. Both teams seem to be adjusted well to that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that rain that started out pretty strong has really dissipated a lot. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it's raining at all now. I don't know if there's going to be an off and on situation for that, but we'll definitely see how that plays a factor in this game.
Second down and 1. We went with Trey Jeffries. And, of course, he can move heaven and earth, as they say. He is the earth of this team. He's such a strong runner. Let's see if we go back with him again or if he's even in there. Of course, another option would be to put Curry in there, and you could run a quarterback keeper with Jones because everybody and his brother is going to be looking for Curry.
Oh, no doubt about that, yeah.
But I kind of like Jeffries. Trey is a 1,000-yard rusher. Let's not forget how good he is. 2,000-yard rushers on this team. And we swap fields, and we're down here close to us because we're in the end zone as Thompson's coming to us, so you know where we are. This is where the home plate used to be. Thompson in a double tight end, double wing, bad snap, but we're going to corral it and try to get wide to the left side, showing some speed and into the end zone from 1 yard out is quarterback Jones. Or was that Curry?
No, that was Curry. Curry. Yeah, he did it on himself right there. And that just goes to show you that is speed. Because these guys, what happened was you had a couple of guys that came off of the edge that were unblocked, okay? No one blocked them. And he just simply outran them to the corner of the end zone. And that's what speed will do for you.
The all-important extra point by Giles. Story will be doing the hold. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, good follow-through. And the kick is good. And at the end of the drive, and it wasn't a long one, only 1 yard drive with 11:53 to go in the second quarter. Thomson back with the lead. Is Thomson 14, Fitzgerald 7. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Thompson's Napa Auto Parts is in their new location at 317 West Hill. You'll find the same friendly folks with dramatically more in-stock inventory in their spacious new home just down the street. A long-time hometown original. Check out the new Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Kevin and the crew look forward to seeing you and keeping you on the road with their Napa know-how. Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Parts on which you can rely from people you know and trust. Now at 317 West Hill.
Thomson leading 14-7, but time of possession goes to Fitzgerald. They've had the ball almost 7 minutes. Thomson just a little over 5 minutes. But on the scoreboard, Thomson leads. First downs, Thomson has a little edge, 4-3 at the end of the first quarter. The leading in offense, 197-107 for that of Fitzgerald is Thomson. Thomson leading 14-7, kicking it off at the 25, trying to get wide and reverse his field, and then he is clubbed by number 47, coming up there and making a good, strong hit is McCord.
And that's what you do. If you once you try to reverse that field like that, you know, you got that pursuit coming from the backside. That's what's supposed to happen.
You know what I like about that, AJ? You see Quincy, he made a good, solid hit. He didn't celebrate. He was the first one off the field, and he just kind of casually walked off like saying, I do this all the time.
All the time.
Nothing new for me. So first and 10 from the 31-yard line for Fitzgerald. Thomson with the lead. Fitzgerald with the football, 14-7. Trying to go with a little misdirection and then pass with the quarterback keeper. Hits a man open, and we bring him down, and no flag. I was a little concerned about that tackle, but gets it down inside the Thomson 50 to our 46.
Yeah, and that was just him being able to extend the play. He kept running to the side to allow his receiver time enough to separate from the coverage, and that's exactly what he did on that. And you're right, that does look close to maybe having a horse collar. No doubt about that.
First and 10 for Fitzgerald. With 11 minutes and some change left here in the second quarter, Thomson leading 14-7. But Fitzgerald's had some drive, only to be stopped by the Thomson defense at key moments. Quarterback keeper hit hard by number 75 coming up there making that stop, or maybe it was Cummings, 76.
There's a helmet off. I think that's the quarterback, too, so he's going to have to come off for a play.
76 Cummings, the sophomore, 225. Yeah, the quarterback's going to have to come off. That is the rule, is it not, AJ? When you can call a timeout and save it. Otherwise,
exactly. Yeah, if it comes off in the field of play, you know, it's not due to a penalty, or if it's not due to the defense purposely throwing, taking it off, you do have to sit out for one play.
Second down and 10. After that good defensive effort by Cummings from the nose man position. Cummings plays nose where he did last year, and then sometimes we'll move him out to the end, and we'll put Collins in there. But right now Cummings is in the middle with Jones on the one side and Sally White on the other one.
There's a timeout on the field here. I'm thinking that are we actually going to
we'll take one. I'm not sure why or who called it, but let's take a timeout. Timeout on the field. Thomson leading here 14-7. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Thomson Plastics, one of our area's leading employers and civic-minded industrial providers, is pleased to support our local high school athletic programs by sponsoring Thomson High School football game coverage here on WTHO. From product design to just-in-time delivery, Thomson Plastics is a clear leader in the injection molding industry. With 3 locations, including 130 Quality Drive in Thomson, they might be a good fit for you, too. Visit ThompsonPlastics.com to learn more about employment opportunities in the Contact Us link.
I did not see either coach or team call a timeout, so I'm guessing it must be a TV timeout.
It's an official or TV timeout. They're looking at something over here. I think they're trying to fix the down marker. It looks like it might be something as simple as that. They have a digital down marker. It looks like they're having a problem with it.
No turnovers in the game thus far. No interceptions, no fumbles of any sort. So it's been a very clean game from that standpoint. Penalties, Thompson's had 4 for 46 yards. Fitzgerald's had 1 thus far for 5 yards. I think the most interesting stat, which while Bill was here, is that, and he is here, he'll be here at halftime to give us the halftime stats. Fourth down conversions, Fitzgerald is 2 for 2. Third down conversions, Fitzgerald is 0 for 3. But Thomson is 1 for 1 on third down conversions and have not gone for it on fourth down.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Fitzgerald's better on fourth down. They are third.
I got to say a quick hello to Jersey Johnson and Dr. Hilton and Scott Swan. They're listening to us in Warren County. Thank you guys for your support.
Framing Devil territory. So here we go. Back to action now. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. They're trying to run the football to the left. Now cuts up inside, then back out to the outside. Still on his feet. Finally taken down by a lot of dogs.
Well, no, actually, they're still going. Yeah.
And he picks up, when it's all said and done, about 9 yards.
Yeah, that's one of those things where that pile was still moving. So as long as that pile is moving, they're saying that the forward progress is still going on there. And
Thompson grabbing the football, as you may guess, 3rd and 1 now. Thompson leading 14-7, but it's 3rd and 1 in Thompson territory. And they're going to run the ball up inside for a first down before he's finally taken down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, again, that time, patience, as he just waited to see what kind of hole would open up. It was a very, very small one, but he was able to get through it to get a first down.
Now you can see Cummings and Jones, the 2 sophomores, talking about that last play. Cummings 225, Jones about 250 on that defensive line. A little power offensive setup.
There you go.
Hit near the line, falls forward, crossing the 30 to about the 29.
That time, a great job on the interior line. Like I said, every now and again, you got to have that interior line make something happen so that either those linebackers can come in and do the job or they can do the job. That time, defensive end was able to come in and grab that leg, slow him down enough for the linebackers to come up and make the tackle.
2nd and 6 after that 4-yard carry. Thompson ahead by a touchdown, 14-7. Fitzgerald driving. As they try to go to the left side, cuts inside back toward the center of the field and slammed down near the 25-yard line by Brigham, number 8.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, we're doing that. Now, the thing about it is that we're adjusting to their offense, but they're catching us in the adjustment. So we're going to have to be a little bit quicker about getting in place because they're snapping the ball and catching us out of position sometimes as we make an adjustment to their offense.
Coach Pruitt runs a lot of misdirection plays. I wonder how much of that was learned when he was at Thomson.
When he was here, yeah.
Thomson was known for that. Set it up and then misdirection. 3rd down, and let's make it 4 for the first down. Trying to go to the left guard, maybe a yard or 2, but he's shy of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of ran up against the brick wall there.
Jones says, I'm the brickyard. I am the brickyard. And a brick wall. And it's going to be 4th down. They've gone for it twice.
You know that they're going to go for it here. They went for it in their own territory.
And they've been successful 2 times out of 2 times.
Yeah. We can use a big 4th down stop right here.
Roll the dice. And they're in a crowded backfield and a power offensive setup. And they're coming with the power. It's going to be close.
Looks like he's got it, though.
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah.
Again, we're in the end zone, so it's hard for us to make that determination. But I think he picked it up maybe with a yard or 2 more to spare.
Yeah, they are making the most of their 4 downs. And I think that's their, that's the way they're looking at it. It's like, guys, we have 4 downs to make a first down. And I think that's the philosophy that they're having, and it has paid off for them. They've gone for it on 3 times they have been able to get it.
1st and 10 from the 21. quarterback keeper to the right side, finds the seam inside, picks up 4 or 5 yards before he's finally taken down. So it's going to be second down.
Yeah, this is where I like, we've had a lot of success by having our pony or that guy that's on the outside linebacker able to come in and do a run blitz and catch them in the backfield. At some point in time, we're going to have to stop them in the backfield.
2nd and 6 after that 4-yard carry. To the right side, they try to run the football. A yard or two falling forward. Thomson finally stops him. A lot of pushing out there. Trying to push the pile. And it's going to be 3rd down and a couple. And as A.J. said, this is probably 4-down territory, you would think. So he's got 2 downs to pick up a yard and a half.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 here.
Thomson leading 14-7, but that lead being threatened on this 3rd and 2. Fitzgerald driving close to about the 13-yard line of Thomson. Out of the gun, makes a step left, then a step right, then goes forward and accelerates and picks up what appears to be a first down.
Yeah, and they're content. They're running basically the same play every time. It's a direct snap. And he's just reading. He's reading the line to see where the hole is, and once he picks it, he goes up in there. So it's nothing fancy. It's cut and dried. And that's the thing about it, is that we're going to have to get some kind of pursuit in the backfield.
Very disciplined team. They've only had 1 penalty. Trying to run the ball to the right side this time. Then cuts a little bit to the left, driving to the 5, close to the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting awfully close, if not in there.
It's going to be 2nd and goal. Thompson's 14-7 lead being threatened right here. That's a Wildcat formation. Just lowering that shoulder and driving. Thomson trying to stop him, but good offensive line thrust.
Yeah, now this is what they tried to do on those first couple of possessions, and they weren't able to do. So now they figured out a way to do it.
5 minutes to go in the half. Thompson's lead being threatened right here. To the right side and close to the end zone and in. 2-yard run makes us score 14-13 with 4:49 showing on the clock in the second quarter. And that was just a very well thought out play calling drive. They found something and they just kept on picking at it.
Yeah, they just kept, and there goes the little shuffle to see if they could get in for 2, and they do. Are they saying that he got it or not? I'm not sure.
I think there was was there a timeout call? I don't think they're going to allow that play. There's a penalty. Delay.
Play here.
That's because I think he ran the ball before they said
before they had set. That's right. Okay.
But, boy, Tucker.
He's saying it as bull crap, but you do have to, and he did say bull crap. I'm not.
Well, whatever he said, he was explaining that he did not agree with the call.
Yes. But you do have to at least put the ball in play, before anything happens. And evidently you're right, Dennis. They did not do that. So that makes it a delay of game.
And the extra point this time, the kick is up, and it is good. So after all of that, the score is tied here, 14-14 with 4:49 left to go in the half. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
It really does seem like time flies. Thomson Carpet and the Remnant and Rug Shop are 50 years old. With the help of our many loyal customers, we have grown to be one of the largest flooring stores in the state of Georgia. This would not have been possible without the loyal support of all in McDuffie, Warren, Glasscock, Jefferson, Wilkes, Lincoln, Columbia, and Richmond County. Our goal is to provide the best flooring at the lowest possible price. All of us at Thomson Carpet, the Remnant and Rug Shop, and Grovetown Floors and Rugs say thank you, go Dogs.
Coach Pruitt talking to the officials, getting an explanation. He is not in agreement with them, but it doesn't matter. The official has the last word. But when he went for 2, he did make it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that Coach Pruitt has shown is, boy, he'll throw the dice, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
He has gone for it on 4th down twice and been successful. lining up for the extra point. Curry getting ready, hopefully, and they're not going to kick it to him. Kicking it away from him at around the 25. Trying to find a seam, sees it now, and
got a seam
there. 40 at the 45, down to the 40, down to the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10. Adios, goodbye, he's gone. Number 7. Oh, that's the fire. That's the fire in Lane.
Yeah,
that's the third running back that no one thinks about. Remember him?
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
So now we have heard from them all, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Number 7, Lane, the junior. And people forget how good Lane is. He's been so effective as a receiver, but he's a great runner.
Dennis, I was just sitting up here thinking, they probably thought they were getting away with it by kicking it to number 7 instead of number 6.
Name your poison. The kick is up, and the kick is no good.
It's no good.
So Thomson leading 20-14, extra point. Special teams only matter in close games. Let's hope this does not come back to haunt us. 4:36 to go in the half. Thomson leading, but only by 6. Thomson 20, Fitzgerald 14. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Hey, folks, it's the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne at Sunset Auto Sales. Are you having to use buckshot on the reindeer to get your old sleigh moving every day? Well, hurry on down and trade that old sleigh on a new one that shines like Rudolph's red nose. Come see Mary Mad Missy, that elf on a shelf, Crazy Kris Kringle, and yours truly, the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne. 1409 Washington Road, Thomson, Georgia, 706-595-9553.
So Thomson gets the touchdown, but misses the extra point on a kickoff return. An impressive one, certainly, by Lane, and will be kicking off to them. High kick coming down near the 15-yard line. Looking in the center, cuts over to the right side at the 25. Gets around our contained man, knocked out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So an excellent return as he broke containment. 1st and 10, Fitzgerald with the football, Thomson with the lead. 20-14. And in these kind of games, you have to worry about the extra points.
You really do. It means everything.
So here comes the Fitzgerald offense. Now, the bad thing about the kickoff returns, I mean, obviously you want it.
Yeah.
But you and I are thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Our defense has not had time to regroup, has not had time to rest.
Or even to make adjustments.
Or to make any type of adjustments, yeah.
44-yard kickoff return gives Thomson the lead, but our defense is right back out there. They try to run the ball wide to the left side. Now back in the backfield, number 30.
And
coming
finally,
back there making that tackle is Travian Curry. Leads the team in tackles.
And that's what we need.
Curry has 122 tackles for the year. Add one more to it from whatever he had.
And that's exactly what we need. And that's what happened on those first couple of possessions that they had, is that we were able to make them play behind the sticks. And that's a great way. You got to get them in the back of in their backyard. So now with them losing about 4 yards, that changes things significantly.
And let's see if they go to the pass with Cooper. He's been effective when he has, under the center. And they're going to run right up the middle, pick up 4 or 5 yards before he's finally taken down. They had to get 13 or 14. He gets it to the 40.
Yeah, I think that might get them back to the original line of scrimmage. Yeah, so now it's 3rd and 10.
Thomson will be at least wondering if he's going to throw the football. As they're breaking a huddle.
Yeah, my thing is don't be too cautious either, though. Don't be too cautious. Force them to make a decision. Force them to do something. I like to see another type of blitz coming off the edge.
They're 3 for 3 passing the football. Rolling to his right.
There he is rolling.
The football has some pressure, and he's trying to hit a man downfield. The only man that was close to it was number 4, Storm Hunt. Got a hand on it.
Exactly. Hunt was back there to do that, and the thing about it is that we got pressure on him. Even though he rolled out and rolled away, we still had pressure on him, and that affected the throw. So we put them in a situation that they are uncomfortable with, and that is passing the ball. And that way, I tell you, when it's 4th and 10, you're very unlikely to go for it then.
Thomson sending a man deep, storm hunt. No turnovers in the game. Hunting from their own 40-yard line. And he's end-over-end kick. Storm's going to look at it and let it bounce down to the 20, let it bounce to the 15. They're going to down it right there near the 15-yard line. Thomson takes over as everybody's looking there, staring at it like it's going to have babies anytime soon.
Well, the thing about it is that that's still taking time off the clock, though, and that's maybe what they want to do.
2:46, speaking of the clock, is what time is remaining in this half.
Yeah, with it being close to halftime and Thomson getting the ball back, they probably want to try to milk every second that they can off of that. That's what some people don't realize. As long as you don't touch that ball, they're still going to let it, go until the referee decides, all right, enough's enough, and then they'll blow it dead.
Thomson only has one timeout remaining, electing to use 2 of them. So we still have one with 2:46. Man in motion. Trying to go to the left side, up inside, crossing the 15, maybe to the 16. Short pickup. And it's going to break up second down, 2nd and 8. Of course, Thomson with their offense, they're a big play offense. You give it to Curry and Lane Shade, how about me, and even Trey Jeffrey. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. Thomson certainly capable of breaking any play for the distance. 20-14, is the score. Thomson with that lead. Curry is out there with Jones in the backfield. Changing the formation now. And the snap, and that's going to be against Thomson. It was procedure. Well, those pre-snap penalties will kill you.
That hurts us so much. And this is, it didn't happen on a first down, but we're still deep in our own territory, and it still puts us behind the chain. And that's just a very uncomfortable position to play from, behind the chain. 2nd down and, extra. 12 or 13 is a lot different.
2nd down and 12, let's make it. But deep in your own territory aggravates it even more. 1:50 to go in the half. Thomson leading 20-14, only by 6. Changing the formation over to the left side, opposite of the other play. And it's going to hand it off to the left side and pick up a short yardage, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And now the clock down to 1:36.
Yeah, now I think Fitzgerald's probably thinking, hey, we may have an opportunity, so they're going to use one of their timeouts.
Timeout on the field, 1:36 to go in the half. Thomson leading 20-14. Let's take one as well. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Your number one Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson and Knox is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
Thomson has been a first-half team versus a second-half team as compared to, say, Appling County, who has been a second-half team all year long. I'm not sure about Fitzgerald, but I sure like it better to have a lead going into the half. Now, Fitzgerald's fans are up on their feet trying to cheer their defense on a big stop here, 3rd down and 11. Otherwise, they're going to have great field position. Thomson only with a 6-point lead. Jones still at quarterback. Behind him, I think, is Curry. As we go to a little misdirection play, gets it out to the 15-yard line before they take him down. Pick up a very short yardage.
And it looks like Fitzgerald's going to use another timeout.
They had 2 timeouts left where we had only 1, and that's going to use up all of their timeouts, but they're going to get the football back in what should be good field position. Thomson leading here 20-14. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint, plus our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got anything you need for any paint project at Culpeper Ace, along with friendly, helpful service.
Fitzgerald calling a timeout, forcing Thomson into a 4th down and 9 deep in their own territory. And it'll be interesting to see if Coach Tucker Pruitt will try to go for the block or try to go for the return. At any rate, the snap is important as always. Noah Story, quarterback, is in there doing the punting honors, and they look like they're going for the block. At least they're not sending anyone deep.
Yeah, no one deep.
Unless that official back there is really a Fitzgerald player. And they're going for the block. He gets it away, coming down and rolling.
And we should not touch it. We should not touch it.
At the 45-yard line. You should have said a little louder. He didn't hear you. As number 23, Norman, came over there and downed the football with 1 minute and 17 seconds. I agree. If he just stood over the ball, there was no one around Fitzgerald.
Exactly. That's going to give us an extra 3-4 seconds or so. And every second counts.
Particularly when they're out of timeout.
Mm-hmm.
So 20-14 is your score. Thomson leading, but Fitzgerald has the football on their own 44-yard line. And they've got a quarterback that can throw the football, as we know. Passing, 3 for 4. 176 yards, I think it is. Looking to throw the football, the little screen over here to the left side. And he just slips down on the artificial turf.
Wow.
Remember, their field is regular grass as well. But now the field probably a little damp, which aggravates it a little bit. And as he's tried to take off, and he had some running room.
I tell you what, he had numbers. My goodness, he had numbers. We did have, a little hope out there. Phelps was out there, and looks like that he was able to get past one of the blockers. But he had numbers and a lot of real estate on that one.
75 yards passing thus far for Fitzgerald. Under the center now, as the clock is ticking at 34 seconds. And they're going to go back to the run over the right guard position, just trying to run out the clock with no time left. It was 2nd down and about 13 or 14 to go, and they just want to run it out. Thomson has 1 timeout left, but they've got it down. You don't want to call a timeout here when you got the lead.
Yeah, don't tempt fate. Yeah.
And Coach Pruitt coming out in the field and says, let's take this one. Well, they got I guess there's a delay of game. There's no time showing on the play clock.
And now we just hit 0 on the...
Okay, they just weren't winding it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be halftime here at Thomson. We'll give you the halftime stats as they come in from Wild Bill Beckham. But first, we're going to take a little time out of our own. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Those of us that played for the Dogs back in the 80s had a coach whose favorite saying was, anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. At Wallace & Son, we do our best to do things right. We want to get the price right when you're looking for your new Gravely zero-turn mower or Red Max trimmer or blower. We want to do the service right when service is needed, and we want you to know you've been treated right every time you come in. At Wallace & Son, we know that anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. That's Wallace & Son, 201 Gordon Street in Thomson. Wallace & Son, doing things right for 59 years. Go Dogs!
The real taste of Mexico is only found at Habanero's Mexican Grill. Street tacos will quickly become your favorite menu item, too. They start by adding special sauce to 2 smaller round corn tortillas. You choose the meat, steak, chicken, pork, or carnitas, and cilantro, onions, then dip it into green or red sauce. The authentic taste of Mexico, street tacos. Try some tonight at Habanero's Mexican Grill, Washington Road, Thomson.
Queensboro National Bank and Trust has been exceeding customer expectations since 1902. They know you're busy. Their online banking, mobile apps, and ATMs offer 24-hour access for your convenience. They make it simple. Queensboro National Bank and Trust, 549 West Hill. QNBTrust.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The heart of your neighborhood. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Bulldog Brigade on the field for Thomson. Thomson leading here at 20-14 here at halftime. The one stat, and we'll get all the stats from Wild Bill Beckham, but the one stat that is significant to me, in addition to the score 20-14, is the fact that they have had the ball close to 17 minutes. Thomson offense has the ball 7 minutes. So 17 minutes of the 24 or 25, whatever it is, has the Thomson defense has been on the field. That means that the second half, that Thomson defense, we need a long, sustained drive on offense to give our team less reps on that defense. And the offensive team has not been on the field that much because we've had some long runs, number one. And we had a kickoff return, yes, another one, but not this time by Curry, but rather we had a kickoff return by Lane, which gave us that 20-14 lead. Then you also have to be concerned with the missed extra point. Remember, it played a very important part of the Appling County game. As we missed the next point, they came down and scored and had a 1-point lead as going into that fourth quarter until Curry broke a long one, enabling us to win the game, winning it by 6. And right now the 6 is the margin that we have, 20-14 here at halftime. No other scores, obviously, to bring to you. We know that last night there were a couple of games played as Swainsboro did not make it. We were pulling for our neighbors south of us. But unfortunately, Prince Avenue Christian has a great team, won the championship last night as they had 2 A games. And here we've got, there'll be 3 games played today, 2 more games after us as the rain is beginning to come down just a little bit here as well. We'll take another timeout, a 90-second one, if you will, while I give Wild Bill Beckham a chance to get in the booth. We're looking at his final stats. But before we do, let's take another 90-second timeout. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
I'm attorney Reed Sanders with the Hawk Law Group. We're your local wrongful death attorneys located right across the street from the courthouse. Growing up here and being a proud graduate of Thomson High School, I'm glad to be able to give back to our community by supporting the Thomson High School Booster Club. Just like a team coming together on the field, we are your team that comes together in the courtroom. So when you have a legal need, get the group, the Hawk Law Group, and go Bulldogs.
Thompson's Napa Auto Parts is in their new location at 317 West Hill. You'll find the same friendly folks with dramatically more in-stock inventory in their spacious new home just down the street. A long-time hometown original. Check out the new Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Kevin and the crew look forward to seeing you and keeping you on the road with their Napa know-how. Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Parts on which you can rely from people you know and trust. Now at 317 West Hill.
Thomson Plastics, one of our area's leading employers and civic-minded industrial providers, is pleased to support our local high school athletic programs by sponsoring Thomson High School football game coverage here on WTHO. From product design to just-in-time delivery, Thomson Plastics is a clear leader in the injection molding industry. With 3 locations, including 130 Quality Drive in Thomson, they might be a good fit for you, too. Visit ThompsonPlastics.com to learn more about employment opportunities in the Contact Us link.
A little bit of liquid sunshine coming down here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Center Park Stadium, the home of the Georgia State Panthers. Thomson leading here 20-14. If you missed the scoring, let me give you some updates. 4:24 to go in the first quarter. It was Curry with one of those long runs that he's famous for, a 57-yard run, making the score 6-0. Giles made the point after, making the score 7-0. 3 minutes later, it was a 58-yard pass play by Fitzgerald on a really pretty play, a post pattern, and their quarterback just led him perfectly as it hit him in the hands and into the end zone he went, and it tied it up 7-7. Second quarter was going to see 3 touchdown runs. Curry with a 1-yard run out of the Wildcat, making the score 13-7 on a second and goal from the 1. The extra point was successful, 14-7 was your score. But it didn't take that much time off the clock. 7 minutes later, a 2-yard run by Fitzgerald made the score 14-13, but the extra point made it 14-14. But Thomson would come right back with one more score, a kickoff return by Lane, 75-yard kickoff return, making the score 20-14, and the extra point was not successful, and that's the reason for the 6-point differential rather than a 7. So here at halftime, as the Thomson High School Marching Band, or the Bulldog Brigade, as they're more formally called, is coming off the field celebrating Thompson's lead, but it's a long way to go because you got another whole half, and 20-14, only a 6-point lead with this kind of team that we're facing, particularly with a offense that Fitzgerald has been running. They are exploiting us. 17 minutes they have been on the field, their offense. Thomson on the field, offense, only 7 minutes. The question is the defense, are they going to be able to hold on? You remember the fourth quarter against South Atlanta, where there were 9 touchdowns that were scored in that fourth quarter? Both defenses just had completely given out. They were just worn out, slap, dab, worn out. Now, if that's the case, if the defense wears out, And that's the problem with the 17-minute 7, a 10-minute differential. And if you remember back in the old Luther Welch days where we were running that move to change offense where it was just 5 yards and 6 yards and staying on the field, keeping their defense on the field, fourth quarter, the other team was gone. And the offense was just getting wound up. So that can be very effective, and we'll have to wait and see because their offense is more of a sustained drive type of offense when you start looking at rushes per down. Against these two teams, you see Thomson, obviously, we haven't run that many plays, but yet we lead here 20-14. But on the field, yeah, we've been on the field a lot. The other thing that is of concern, Thomson has 5 penalties for 51 yards compared to 2 for 10, and we'll get some more of those stats in just a minute, 90 seconds, and Wild Bill Beckham will come in the booth, and we'll take a look at all of the halftime stats. Right now, you're listening to Thomson High School football action.
There's an old saying, you can't sell from an empty wagon. So, the Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs loaded our wagon with over 100 rolls of no-wax vinyl, over 100 rolls of carpet, over 20 pallets of waterproof vinyl plank flooring, and over 500 area rugs. Our stores buy at the lowest prices and pass the savings on to our customers. You will love our selection and prices. The Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs, 50 years old and looking to the future.
Hey, folks, it's the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne at Sunset Auto Sales. Are you having to use buckshot on the reindeer to get your old sleigh moving every day? Well, hurry on down and trade that old sleigh on a new one that shines like Rudolph's red nose. Come see Mary Mad Missy, that elf on a shelf, Crazy Kris Kringle, and yours truly, the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne. 1409 Washington Road, Thomson, Georgia, 706-595-9553.
Your number one Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson & Knox is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
Here at halftime, Thomson leading 20-14 right now on a wet field. It has just started raining, really. It had a little bit earlier, but now at halftime it seems to have picked up some, and you see the Thomson fans getting for some shelter over here under the end zone on the Thomson side. The Fitzgerald people, they're getting under the protection as well. Thomson leading to 20-14. Let's see what the stats look like. I've got the time of possession. I've already told you that, 17 minutes to 7 minutes. That's substantial, something to be concerned about here in the second half. But let's see what the rest of the stats look like. And here to do the honors, the one in the home league, well, Bill Beckham.
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome there, Bill.
All right, you're gonna find this interesting, and I'm gonna tell you another interesting thing.
Yeah.
I was down there with got a couple of folks from the high school that are helping me spot down there.
Yep.
And one of the things they keep up with is the time of possession. And they mentioned before I left, they said, we hadn't had the ball but about 7 minutes.
That's right.
And they just pounding on us and wearing out. So you brought that up. So anyway, that was interesting.
Yeah,
but let's tell some more.
Okay, the first downs I'm interested in.
All right, let's start with these. Thomson has 4. They have 2 by rush, 2 by pass. Fitzgerald has 7. They have 5 by rush, 1 by pass, and 1 by penalty. What I've got. So
okay.
That's interesting.
That's 7-4.
7-4. All right, they rushed the ball 26 times for 98 yards. There are 4 of 5 passing, no interceptions, 75 yards. We've rushed the ball 13 times for 107 yards. We attempted 3 passes, completed 2, 97 yards. So Thomson with 204 yards of total offense in the first half to their 173. Fumbles, neither team has fumbled. And some individuals, number 43, Hart, has 1 catch for 80 yards. Number 11, Moss, 1 catch for 17 yards. That 80-yard catch, he was tackled about, I can't remember, inside the 10-yard line there. We did not score an 80-yard catch, but anyway, a big play there. And we had two receivers in that could have caught that ball. That was kind of a strange thing. I was afraid that both of our guys were going to run at each other, and nobody was going to catch it.
Yeah, that was a little interesting that we would have two. Obviously, somebody run a busted route because you shouldn't have two people there 3 yards apart from each other.
So that was
Thomson 20-14, but the total stats 204 for Thomson, 173 for Fitzgerald, and part of that is because Lane ran back a 75-yard kickoff return.
Yes, that was a big play there.
If you're looking at total yardage, you can see that it would be substantial in favor of Thomson. But the concern is that 17 minutes versus 7. That is of some concern because Thomson has been on the field a lot compared to their also running the football. We've only run it 13 times. They have run it 26 times, twice as many times as we have. So our defense has just been on the board a lot. We've been out there. Penalties, 5 penalties, I think, for Thomson. Isn't that what I have? I had 5 penalties.
5 penalties, 55 yards. I've got them with a couple of penalties for 10 yards.
For 10 yards.
Penalties have hurt us as we've had a couple of holding penalties. That have brought the ball back on a couple of occasions there.
And penalties have been a factor as to when the penalties have occurred, certainly, but we've overcome those penalties in some cases. So as a yellow hanky has been a part. I say a yellow hanky, the penalty flags didn't even come into existence till about I think at the beginning of World War II. Before that they would do a tweet, and then they had a whistle, meaning they stopped the play. And it was confusing, so they started throwing the flag in 1941, if my memory's correct. But the flag, interesting enough, was red and white. It wasn't always yellow. It was a red and white flag, and they had to weight it in just like they do now. And somewhere along the line, they changed to yellow because you can see it a lot easier than you can the red and white. So I don't know what that's worth. That and a couple of bucks to get you a cup of coffee, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. So, this is a rain coming down here. I wonder how the rain is going to affect us. I don't know. Or them. Neither team has really. Of course, we had the big play on the pass, but you think the rain may affect the passing game. But neither team has seemed to be worried about passing the ball too much.
Yeah, they had that long run. What concerns me more is both teams are playing on artificial turf. We saw them at a very key moment slip and lose their footing on the artificial turf. It looked like they were fixing to have some good running room on a little bubble screen to the left side.
Yes.
And they had to punt as a result of that. You wonder, is this game 20-14? Is that close? Is it going to be decided by a slip by a defensive player or a slip by an offensive player when he should pick up good yardage and not able to do so? You just hope it isn't. Miss extra point. Special teams only matter in close games.
I know. I've been thinking about that. Yes, and I know the play you're talking about, that little bubble screen. I thought he had good yardage there. I don't know how far he would have gotten, but then just fell down or slipped down and ended up with a loss on the play, which could have been a big game for them. But something like that can really change the game.
First downs in favor of Fitzgerald. That really doesn't surprise me. But when you look at the score, you may be surprised by that 20-14 lead that Thomson has and no turnovers. But you got to remember that there have been some long plays. Curry for 57 yards. Then we had a kickoff return for 75 yards. There's no first downs. You were telling me earlier that some states, was it some states that give you first down? So if it's a 60-yard run, they do.
Give them a first down every 10 yards because when you put it in the computer, I have to keep the first downs by hand because it just gives them, and you'll then look at the computer and it'll say we've got 35 first downs or something, but every 10 yards it tacks one more on. But I asked them about, could they change that? And they said, no, well, some states use it that way, so we've kept, and I can't imagine playing a game and both teams end up with 40 or 50 first downs.
Well, I guess you just take the total yardage and divide it by 10.
Yeah, I mean,
that tells you how many first downs. Yeah. So if you have 400 yards rushing,
you have 40 first downs.
40 first downs.
40 first downs. There you go.
Well, in this case, and passing too, they do the passing the same way.
Yes, I think so.
Well, we have 204 yards offense compared to 173 for them. So according to that, we would have 20 first downs instead of 4. But yet we have 4 first downs compared to their 7. 107 yards rushing to their 98, even though they have run the ball 26 times compared to our 13. Passing, we're 2 for 3 with 97 yards. They're 4 for 5 for 75 yards, only missing on that one play on a little out pattern that we saw. Storm Hunt was got a hand on it, but couldn't get close enough to it to come up with a big interception. But then right after that, they punted, so I don't know that it would have had any significance. Then no turnovers in this game, and that's something you were with us in 2016 when we had those 7 fumbles against Cartersville. So, and we were just, every time we'd fumble, we'd just say, oh, my goodness, how many more fumbles can you have against a Trevor Lawrence? You know, a team like that, you just can't do it.
You just can't do that in a big game. So that's been. And in case you're wondering, I'm going to change the subject a little. In case you're wondering, because you're sitting up here in this booth, I'm down on another little level I can see. There are a lot of Thomson people, but they're sitting directly under you.
Are they really? Well, I know there's a bunch over to my right.
Yeah, and they're all right through here is all Thomson people. So the Thomson people right now are in the end zone, but it's dry.
Yeah. And I think it's fair to say that the Thomson people far outnumber those from Fitzgerald. Yes. Thomson's a little bit bigger school than Fitzgerald. I was looking at the FTE count, which is we've really kind of gotten fascinated by since that pushed us down into the AA this year. Fitzgerald is 838. We're 986. So we're about 100 more than they are on the FTE count. Actually, we're at the very top of the AA. Fitzgerald is getting close to being knocked down to A. Yeah. But they have been in AA for all of these years. Traditionally we have been a AAA or a 4A team. We haven't been a AA team since 1977. We have dropped down this year to AA, and we'll be in AA next year because they do it every 2 years. Then they'll recalculate it, and who knows what the rules will be, the multiplier and all that stuff, how that will affect us. But we're AA right now, and we'll be AA next year. And right now, which is the most important, is the score. Thomson leading here 20-14. Let's take a timeout. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only national retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint. And when you buy a sample, we'll give you $5 off your next paint purchase. So if you want a new look for your home, look no further than Benjamin Moore paint at Ace.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got anything you need for any paint project along with friendly, helpful service.
Offer valid on gallons of Benjamin Moore, Clark & Kensington, and Royal Paint. Limit $1 $5 coupon on 1 gallon purchase at participating Ace stores only. See store for additional details and exclusions.
Those of us that played for the Dogs back in the 80s had a coach whose favorite saying was, anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. At Wallace & Son, we do our best to do things right. We want to get the price right when you're looking for your new Gravely zero-turn mower or Red Max trimmer or blower. We want to do the service right when service is needed, and we want you to know you've been treated right every time you come in. At Wallace & Son, we know that anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. That's Wallace & Son, 201 Gordon Street in Thompson. Wallace & Son, doing things right for 59 years. Go Dogs!
The real taste of Mexico is only found at Habanero's Mexican Grill. Street tacos will quickly become your favorite menu item, too. They start by adding special sauce to 2 smaller round corn tortillas. You choose the meat, steak, chicken, pork, or carnitas, and cilantro, onions, then dip it into green or red sauce. The authentic taste of Mexico, street tacos. Try some tonight at Habanero's Mexican Grill, Washington Road, Thompson.
And we're back here in Atlanta, Georgia, Center Park Stadium. Things are getting interesting here as the rain continues to pour. What was a slight drizzle is getting a little bit stronger, if you will, although it has kind of dissipated a little bit from about a few minutes ago. Going to see how much that plays a role in the second half here as Thomson holding on to a slim 20-14 lead over the Purple Hurricanes of Fitzgerald. Both teams are now coming back out on the field, warming up for the second half. Thomson will be receiving the football at the beginning of the second half, so that's a plus for us. As the rain has come down, we see a lot of fans, and especially on the Fitzgerald side. The Fitzgerald side, they have seats that overlay, so they can actually go under the upper tier seats and get away from the rain. That it's almost like having an automatic umbrella, if you will. So the Fitzgerald fans are able to do that. The Thomson fans, on the other hand, they're not able to do that. They're going to have to, as a matter of fact, they've had to leave the sideline seating that they had and pretty much go to the end zone seating as they are a little bit closer to us as we are located in the end zone. All of the Thomson fans now are located in the end zone, and they are underneath the upper level seating, which provides, like I said, it's almost like a makeshift umbrella, if you will. So all of the fans, at some point or another, they're able to be dry. And but can't say the same thing about the players. It is raining. It looks like that kind of rain, Dennis, that's just going to settle in here. I don't know if it's going to stop at any time during the second half or not, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, the weather forecast is it's going to rain all day, but of course the most important thing is that you and I are dry.
Yes.
And I know we had a lot of Thomson fans worried about us, I'm sure, but we're dry. No, it is. Most of the fans are underneath. Remember the old Atlanta Stadium, if you've been here, they're underneath the pavilions and that, so they're able to get out of the rain. The bad thing is they won't be. We had fans from goal line to goal line, as you may can see on TV, but most of those guys. You used to have a few out there still in the rain gear, but most of them are up underneath us and all the way over. So it's got end zone to end zone. We've got it pretty well covered.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald is underneath the pavilion area over here, spread out on the side. We're kind of in the end zone. You see the Thomson players turning around and facing the Thomson fans saying, get up, get up, get up. Number 7 leading that charge over there is Lane, Jordan Lane, the junior running back. So he's trying to get a little emotion going starting this second half. 20-14, a 6-point lead. I'd feel so much better if it was 7. Just a team like this, with a coach like they have, he's offense is his thing. He was the offensive coordinator, as we said many times before, that Tucker Pruitt was the offensive coordinator at Thomson. He's an excellent coach. We know that. I'm interested to see what adjustments he will make. And the thing, AJ, I know you had stepped out when the stats were given. Do you realize that they had the ball 17 minutes compared to our 7?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can believe that. There's no doubt about it.
And you have to wonder, is that going to have an effect? And Beckham was telling me, while Bill was saying that he was noticing some of our players were looking fatigued even that first half, that they were kind of leaning over, trying to catch their breath.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed, that was one thing that I noticed that was a big factor when I was looking at them play last week. In the second half, they were gassed.
Yeah.
They really were. They were gassed, and that's going to play a big part in here, because you know that they're probably going to try to have more of a run control or controlled offense, take more time off the field, and have that make more time off of the clock, and stay on the field as long as they can.
They're kicking off to Thomson. They just kick it flat. They want to keep it away from Curry. They're going to kick it to Lane instead. Lane already ran one back. Looking. Now he's kind of accelerating to the left side, trying to find a little running room over there, and does. Trying to turn that corner and knocked out of bounds near midfield, near around the 48-yard line. Trying to follow Curry.
And Curry delivered yet another good block. So I'm telling you, you can say what you want to say about him running, but when it comes to blocking, he does a pretty doggone good job at that, too.
1st and 10 for Thomson. As he's knocked out of bounds near the 45-yard line, they'll be drying the football off intermittently as they can at the 47, they're saying. Thomson with the lead, Thomson with the football, 20-14. Starting this second half action. State championship game with Curry in the backfield in the pistol formation, right behind the quarterback, Jones. As we're going up the middle of the Curry, he is really knocked hard near the line of scrimmage. Turned him around. Thomson trying to push him forward as much as they can, but play is going to be stopped near midfield.
And that's pretty much, they did on that play what has worked so well for us the last couple of weeks, bringing someone off of the edge and getting in the backfield, getting them before they get started. That's the same thing I was saying defensively we should be able to do against them. That's what they are trying now, and I bet you that's not going to be the last time. They're trying to stop him before he gets started.
2nd and 8 after that 2-yard pickup. Now Jones sending a man to the other side in the wrong formation. Now we're getting straightened out with 7 seconds left on the play clock. Curry back there beside him this time. Man in motion with 2 seconds on the play clock. 1 second. Get it away. Looked like a mix-up and a fumble. And I think Curry got the ball back, but we talked about the fumbles. That was really an unforced error, miscommunication between the quarterback and Curry.
Now, if there's one thing, if there's a negative, you know, Curry has put the ball on the ground quite a few times in the last couple of weeks here. Of course, you know, he had that very fortuitous bounce on the kick return that he ran in for a touchdown, but we've got to be very careful. We know that it's going to be wet. We've got to take extra care of that football.
3rd down and 13. Fitzgerald has made some adjustments on defense, obviously. Thomson back to pass. Thomson looking, trying to throw it out to number 43, the intended receiver, Hart. No chance of that completion. So Thomson 3 and out, and we're going to have to punt the football as Fitzgerald has obviously made some adjustments on their defensive side. Let's see what adjustments our defense has made. One of them, at least our defense got to rest up a little bit after being on the field almost the entire first half. Or at least it seemed that way. Noah Story back to punt for Thomson. Had a 41-yard punt, his only time. A slow snap. Noah gets it away. Line drive, barely getting it away, and it's going to take a Thomson bounce, bouncing near the 20-yard line, inside the 20, near the 15-yard line, just letting it roll as we down it right there. Ball, as we talked about the snap and special teams, that was on the ground. Thank goodness Noah Story has great hands. Picked it up and was able to get it away as pressure was really coming on him. But Fitzgerald down by 6 points, takes over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Thomson defense, fatigued at the first half, has had a little break. Let's see what adjustments our defensive unit has made.
Tight formation on offense.
Run the football to the left side and just trying to push that pile forward. Thomson trying to push it back. And the officials look like a rugby team out there.
Yeah. We've seen that happen a couple of times, like a good old rugby match.
It's going to be a pickup of about 3 when it's all said and done. And it's going to be 2nd down and about 7. Out of a crowded backfield formation. Power set, leaning to the right. We're going to run right, and then it backs over to center, gets it out to the 20-yard line, a little bit past that, shy of the first, but a pickup of a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5.
And this is going to be a very key down here because they're deep in their territory. If we can be able to stop them for only a couple yards gain, I think they would be forced to have to punt the ball. We need a big play from our defense right here.
And you would think, even though they have gone for the 4th down twice or 3 times, been successful all 3 times, they're deep in their own territory unless it's something close. And they're trying to run the ball wide to the right side with the misdirection. Thomson sticks them up. Shy of the 1st down, it would appear. And it's going to be 4th down and a couple.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they were able to gain too much on there.
Thomson defense giving up only 10 or 11 points all season long on average. Appears to have stopped them. Curry going back to return the punt. Curry, not number 4, not Storm Hunt.
Yeah, it looks like they're having trouble again now with the down marker. And this is where you just need to go to the old-fashioned one. I think that's what they're going to do. The electronic one is malfunctioning again, so we're going to go back to the good old-fashioned flip it yourself.
And that's what the delay is right there.
Yeah.
But one thing we know is 4th down. It's about 3 for the 1st down. And back in punt formation is Fitzgerald. Bobble the snap, gets it away, however, and it's going to come down with Curry receiving it near his 40 and tackled immediately. Actually, the bobble, he was able to handle it. It gave his his gunners about another step and a half to get down the field, and as a result, Curry couldn't get anything.
Yeah, he couldn't get anything going. You're right.
I was a little surprised he even caught it without being a fair catch. Curry's not one. He wants to run the football.
Yeah, he wants to have that opportunity.
At that time, Fitzgerald stopped him. Now, Fitzgerald stopped Thomson on the first possession, 3 and out. Now you see Noah Story in there at quarterback. Look, we got a change in QB. That should make them take a look-see, saying, are they going to start throwing the football? At least makes them wonder. Empty backfield. Story trying to throw the football and does complete, and then he slips down with a pickup of a couple. And if nothing else, it'll soften them up and make them take those linebackers out of coming crashing in so hard.
Absolutely.
You put in a quarterback when it's pouring down raining, and he hadn't played any. It was just a short pass, and that was a good call. A good safe pass, 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Curry's back there with Noah Story at QB. Empty backfield now. He has a man out in the flats, complete to Jalick Johnson, thrown down near the 45-yard line. Jalick, number 13, a couple yards shy of the first. Trying to hit those receivers and hope that they can make something happen when they have one-on-one coverage.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad philosophy.
Yeah.
Remember, if a one slip, and that's it.
You're exactly right. I like the play call. I like them getting out in the flats, little intermediate passes. Get those guys out in space and see what they can do with it.
Now he's bringing Jones back in and Noah Story out on this 3rd down and 1, showing them that we're probably going to run the football this time unless we try to mix them up. Curry back there with him, and we're going to keep it with the quarterback keeper, and they stop us.
Yeah, we lost the football.
They were looking for that play all of the way, it seems like. Losing the football, first turnover of the game. And the one thing you said you cannot have in this game is the turnovers and fumbles. We fumble it right there. Well, we were moving the football, and all of a sudden they stopped us again. So 2 3-and-outs and a turnover. And they run the football with power near our 40. Pickup of 2 or 3. Got a man limping out there.
Yeah.
I believe that's number 10, isn't it, Sally White?
I think Sally White's hurting a little bit. He's going to come out.
They'll probably move Collins on the nose and then put Cummings up inside. Remember, though, Cummings has been playing some offense along with Jones. That's one reason they're kind of tired.
Yeah, this is where I like to see Phelps come off the edge here. If we could get him off the edge.
2nd down, running over the right guard and splits it out, finds a seam to 35. Close to the first down, appears to be shy barely. No, they're saying it is a first.
And it is a first down.
Now you have to worry about the fatigue of the defense because what they're doing is just lining up in a power offense and just running at you. Number 76, Cummings. We just mentioned him. He's on the nose. He made that last tackle, but they're just running power football.
First set of downs here.
1st and 10 at the 35. Trying to go up the middle again. Able to pick up 3 or 4 yards, 3 yards on a cloud of dust, and they're very satisfied doing that. Maybe 4 yards.
And nothing fancy at all here. You know, it's a direct snap, and they're just picking the hole, which is, it sounds like a good idea, especially if we are going to have problems with exchanges on the snap and with the handoff.
2nd down and 6 after that 4-yard run. Just running power again. Same play. At the 27.
So again, it's just about numbers. They've got the 2 running backs in the back, and they are essentially their lead blockers. And they're going up in the hole first and hitting the first thing that comes, and he's following them up. And they're just able to get yards, get enough yards to make it third and manageable here.
Taking Jones out, the 250-pounder, but he's tired. They're running the football up the middle again. And once again, they pick up yardage.
First down. And we're getting pushed around out here, and if anything, that should get us fired up a little bit. But we are getting pushed off the ball, and they're able to do that with a power-oriented run, direct snap with two backs in the backfield that lead or that serve as lead blockers.
Same offense that Appling County ran that second half when they were so effective. Up the middle.
Here we go again.
Tries to find a seam, picks up yardage to the 20 to the 19.
And that time they added a pulling guard to go along with the two backs. So you've got three guys going up in the hole before the runner does, and it looks like we've got an injured player.
Either that or, there's an injured player on the field for Thomson. Let's take a timeout, an injury timeout, if you will. Thomson leading 20-14, but that lead very much in jeopardy right now. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Thinking about changing banks? Think Queensboro National Bank and Trust. Since 1902, Queensboro has been Georgia's community bank, a bank you can depend on for local decision-making. They're committed to keeping the banking process as uncomplicated as possible. Stop by today, 549 West Hill Street. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The heart of your neighborhood. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Number 89 is the jersey that is coming off the field, but I don't have an 89 on my roster.
Neither do I. Of course, sometimes those numbers change with the white jerseys and the black jerseys.
I don't think it's somebody. I don't think it's Riles, is it? He's about 330 pounds. Jalen Riles. He's number 79, but I don't know. And they're just coming in asking me who is number 89.
Yeah.
And I had to tell them I don't know either.
We don't know either.
Defense is a cheer here from the Thomson faithful. They're looking at second down and about 5, and right now we're being pushed off the ball. Thomson is still in that 3-man front. We may have to go to a 4 at least to stop this. Trying to go to the left side, and he squeaks through there down to the 15. Pick up of another 3 yards, and it's going to be third down and 2. And you know they're in 2-down territory.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a test of wills now, and they have the numbers, especially if they keep running the ball like they're doing with the lead back and pulling guards at times. They're just going to follow them up and just let them carve a way for them to get through that line.
Lewis checking in at the nose, trying to give a little more size, and we stop them, and it's going to be fourth down.
Certainly does not seem like, he didn't even get to the 15, it doesn't seem like.
They took out Collins and put in Lewis, who's a pretty good sized young'un himself. The junior.
And he's got a little quickness too. Maybe he can be able to thwart some of this going on back there by getting in the backfield.
Thompson's still in a 3-man front. We got linebackers up there real tight because they're in a double tight end. And they're going to run the football, and he picks up the first down. It'll be first and goal or close to it, but he picks it up easily.
Easily. Again, it's almost like they are surrounding him. They're kind of building a little cocoon around him, and you got about 2 or 3 lead blockers again that's just overpowering what we've got. I mean, and they're simply just blowing us off the ball there.
From the 12-yard line, they can pick up the first down without the touch. It's first and goal. Thomson leading by 6. Fitzgerald driving for the lead. Running the football up the middle again. To the left side. Finds a seam. Down to the 5. It's going to be second and about 3. And right now, Thomson is looking fatigued. and really just being pushed off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and of course, it can be a little, frustrating to know what's coming but still not be able to do anything about it. So this is just about wills now. They're just going to have to make it up in their mind that they're going to make something happen here.
Right up the middle again from the 2 to the 1, into the end zone, touchdown. 51 seconds left to go, and they'll be trying to kick the extra point for the lead. It's now 20-20, all tied up even in the extra point. They've been perfect all game. Good snap. The hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The tide has turned, and all of a sudden Fitzgerald's up by 1, 21-20. First time that Thomson's been down all night long or all day long. We'll come right back trying to get this thing back where it should be. 21-20 in favor of Fitzgerald. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
I'm attorney Reed Sanders with the Hawk Law Group. We're your local wrongful death attorneys located right across the street from the courthouse. Growing up here and being a proud graduate of Thomson High School, I'm glad to be able to give back to our community by supporting the Thomson High School Booster Club. Just like a team coming together on the field, we are your team that comes together in the courtroom. So when you have a legal need, get the group, the Hawk Law Group, and go Bulldogs.
Thomson down by 1, but about to employ their best offensive play as they kick off to us. Remember, we've had one kickoff return by Lane and another long run by Lane. They're kicking away from Curry. Indeed, they're kicking it flat again. Curry's going to pick it up this time. Curry rolling right, then finds a seam out to the 40 and down at the 40. First and 10, Thomson at the 40-yard line. One fumble by Thomson set that up on a very short drive. Just it looked like we were really beginning to move. I don't know that we've had a first down this quarter.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not this quarter.
It was 3rd and 1.
You've had 2 possessions, and I think both of them have been 3 and outs.
So that means our defense has been on the field almost the entire third quarter, and they were the first half too. 17 minutes to 7. Jones at quarterback with Curry beside him. Galick Johnson out wide right. Back to Curry. Curry breaks the tackle. Curry to the 40-yard line, runs over a guy out to around the 44-yard line.
And again, that was all Curry. There were 2 guys out there waiting on him on the edge, and he just simply outran them. So Curry doing everything that he can to get us back in this thing. And again, it was just nothing but his will and his speed.
2nd down and 5 after that 5-yard pickup. And timeout is on the field. I'm not sure who called it.
Well, I think they're going to go ahead and let this quarter go ahead and end.
And that is indeed what they're indicating, that the end of the third quarter is now in the books. And Thomson down as we start the fourth quarter, but only by a skinny 1. Score here at the end of 3 quarters of action is Thomson 20 and Fitzgerald 21. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Thompson's Napa Auto Parts is in their new location at 317 West Hill. You'll find the same friendly folks with dramatically more in-stock inventory in their spacious new home just down the street. A long-time hometown original. Check out the new Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Kevin and the crew look forward to seeing you and keeping you on the road with their Napa know-how. Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Parts on which you can rely from people you know and trust. Now at 317 West Hill.
Thomson Plastics, one of our area's leading employers and civic-minded industrial providers, is pleased to support our local high school athletic programs by sponsoring Thomson High School football game coverage here on WTHO. From product design to just-in-time delivery, Thomson Plastics is a clear leader in the injection molding industry. With 3 locations, including 130 Quality Drive in Thomson, they might be a good fit for you, too. Visit ThompsonPlastics.com to learn more about employment opportunities in the Contact Us link.
Starting the fourth quarter. Time of possession. We've been talking about it all game long because it's beginning to pay some significant difference. 24 minutes Fitzgerald time of possession compared to 11 for Thomson. Thomson defense has just been out there the entire time, and it's beginning to show. You have to worry about this fourth quarter. The offense has got to get going here. Like to have a long, sustained drive. Let that defense rest. Thomson to get back in the lead. As we start this fourth quarter. Thomson down 21-20, just like last week, though. Appling County had the lead, just same thing.
Yep.
Had a 1-point lead going the fourth quarter and took a long Curry run to make the difference.
Of course, that ever so critical stat is points off of turnovers, and that's what's got them that skinny 1-point lead right now. We had a turnover, and they were able to take that and go in for a touchdown.
They're doing it without having to throw the football. 4 out of 5 is they've only thrown it 5 times, but they're just coming in a power offense and running it up the middle on us. So Thomson first and 10 down by 1, starting the fourth quarter with Jones at quarterback. Handing off now, trying to kick it to the outside, then back inside is Curry, and they're looking for him on this second down. It was 2nd and 5. Now it's going to be about 3rd down and still close to 5, maybe 4. And they have made some changes on their defensive side. There's no question. Looking at 3rd down and 3, let's make it.
Yeah, they're talking about this a long time here to see what it is that they're going to do. About 15 seconds on the play clock. See if they're going to have enough time to get this one off here. We're at 10 seconds.
Thomson looking for their first down of the half. 2 seconds from the play clock, and we do get it away. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper and he fumbles the football.
Fumbles the ball again. That's another fumble. Got to see who's got this one.
If we have it, I think it'll be a 1st down, depending where he covered. Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald has the ball.
Made a nice run. He was just trying to make a move, and somebody put a helmet right there on the football, kicked it loose. Fitzgerald came up with it. So right there at midfield, 1st and 10. And here comes their offense and a very tired defense for Thomson. 11 minutes to go in this game. 1-point lead. Fitzgerald 20-21. And they're just running right up the middle. Why not? Been successful thus far. Pick up of a couple, 2 or 3.
Yards, yeah, about 3 or 4 yards there.
2nd down and about 5.5, maybe 6.
And again, if it is a situation where they're getting us off the ball there, there's something that we're either going to have to get an extra interior lineman or go ahead and get lower than their offensive linemen are getting so we can have those linebackers be able to float and make the play. Right now, they're just outnumbering us, and they're bullying us, really, is what they're doing.
2nd down and 6 in Thomson territory. Going to the left side again, right up the middle. Thomson does a better job this time, holding to about a yard gain, right there at the 45. It'll be 3rd down. They're in Thomson territory, and Coach Pruitt has shown that he will go for it. He's gone for it 4 times on 4th down, and he's been successful 4 times on 4th down.
And I honestly think that as long as they're somewhere near the middle of the field, that he will continue to do that. I think right now they're in 4-down territory here, so we're going to have to bore our necks for another 2 downs here. Excellent job last play for our defense.
3rd down, and let's make it 5 for the first. After he picked up 1, they got to get to the 40.
Just a test of wheels now.
Crowded backfield once again, and they try to run a little fake a misdirection coming back, and he gets, as he tries to roll, but his forward progress should not be anywhere near that. He just rolled over. So it's going to be 4th down. Pick up 1 or 2. Thompson's cornerback did a good job, and then Dobbs came up there and slowed him down. But it's going to be 4th down. They're going for it, and they're 4 for 4 on 4th downs. They need about 2 or 3 for the first down here.
Another test of wheels. This is a big play for Thomson right here. We've got to get this stopped.
Yeah, they're changing formations. A little interesting. Wideouts both sides this time. And they're going to try to run with the football to the misdirection to the left side, and we're going to hit him at the 45, and I think he's going to be shy.
He got it, yeah.
You roll the dice, and somewhere along the line, just that little 7 comes up. And in Vegas, they call that craps.
And the defense shows up.
And you have to wonder, AJ, we talked about this before, sometimes coaches outcoach themselves.
Yes, indeed. Rick on that time making it, you're right.
I remember Coach Campbell from Peach County telling me, that when they beat us in a playoff, that he only ran 4 plays all night long. He said, why should I change? You couldn't stop it. Sometimes you just, maybe not on that 4th down. I don't know that we hadn't been stopping them up the middle. Of course, if he had ran a touchdown, he'd have been a genius. Easy as a second guess. Now Noah Story back in the game, and they're saying that Thomson moved.
Now we're,
oh my goodness,
behind the 6 again with a first down penalty. I'm trying to think. We've had just a number of first down penalties. Most of them are false starts, offside.
For the year you're talking about?
Yeah.
Noah Story in there looking at a 1st and 15. Now at the Thomson 39-yard line, down by 1. We try to go with a misdirection play, turning the corner at the 50. Noah Story leading the way, trying to find someone to block. He didn't have to because Curry's going the distance. Adios, goodbye, Curry does it again. And, the difference in that is you put Noah Story in there, and the other teams start thinking pass, and it opens up the run. They change their defensive formation, and here comes Curry.
And that is, of course, an amazing job of reversing the field, starting off to his left, and then cutting back to the right, and had Noah Story actually as a lead block. Now they're going to have to think about this. Are we going to go for 2?
Well, remember last week he did not. I wonder if you got 8:21. I don't know. Probably should. Let's take a timeout as Thomson thinks about it. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
It really does seem like time flies. Thomson Carpet and the Remnant and Rug Shop are 50 years old. With the help of our many loyal customers, we have grown to be one of the largest flooring stores in the state of Georgia. This would not have been possible without the loyal support of all in McDuffie, Warren, Glasscock, Jefferson, Wilkes, Lincoln, Columbia, and Richmond County. Our goal is to provide the best flooring at the lowest possible price. All of us at Thomson Carpet, the Remnant and Rug Shop, and Grovetown Floors and Rugs say thank you. Go Dogs.
I was wondering what the fans were saying. They were saying 2. Yeah. I couldn't tell if they were booing or what. They were all hollering 2.
And here's the deal, and I like that. I like the idea that we're going for 2. Listen, if they score a touchdown, the extra point is almost a given.
For them.
Yeah. So we need to go ahead and at least get about a 7-point difference.
Let's see if Curry's in a Wildcat or if Noah's in there, Noah Story. Or who is it? I think
Curry's in the Wildcat.
I like that. Curry looking. He's going to throw a jump pass. Complete.
He got it.
It
was dropped. I'm not so sure if it was dropped more or less than it was just a good defensive effort that time coming down with it, and he was still trying to bat that thing away. So just a great defensive effort. Hey, I like the play call. And, we just weren't able to pull it off. I like the play call, and that time a great defensive effort to just kind of snag that ball away at the last second there.
26-21. Let's take a time after listening. Thomson High School football action.
Hey, folks, it's the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne at Sunset Auto Sales. Are you having to use buckshot on the reindeer to get your old sleigh moving every day? Well, hurry on down and trade that old sleigh on a new one that shines like Rudolph's red nose. Come see Mary Mad Missy, that elf on a shelf, Crazy Kris Kringle, and yours truly, the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne. 1409 Washington Road, Thomson, Georgia, 706-595-9553.
26-21, Thomson going for two. Curry was I think it was Hart, the intended receiver. But there was a defensive man back there with him. Hart's about 6'2". He jumped up and grabbed it, but the defensive man looked like he got a hand in there and just knocked it away at the last moment. It looked like
it even looked like he had it in his hands when he came down.
And you got to remember, Hart is not really a receiver. Well, he plays receiver some, but he plays defense more. And receivers are used to getting that ball and immediately tucking it in, and he didn't do that. As a result of that, a defensive player just put a hand up and just pushed it away. And that was a good defensive play. And also it was a great defensive play from the part of Fitzgerald in the sense that they weren't suckered in. You got Curry back there, and I thought he was going to run the football. And we've been watching it all year long, but yet it didn't fool them. Good defense. So now Thomson kicking off. And hoping that the defensive unit, boy, that time of possession really, really worries me, though. 26 minutes to 12.
There's no doubt about it. Our defense is gasping, but this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. This is where you play with that intestinal fortitude.
Kickoff down to the 18, to the 20, the 25. Finds a seam. We grab him and hold him inside the 30. And it's going to be first and 10 Fitzgerald at their own 29-yard line. Thomson with a shallow lead, 26-21, a 5-point lead. Remember, a 5-point lead, we didn't make it, but a field goal could make it 8. Now,
right.
We haven't kicked a field goal all year long, but
right.
Giles certainly has the leg to do that. Still raining, but not as hard as it was. And here comes Fitzgerald. Trying to run the football up the middle. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards.
Yeah, and they have loosened up. Now they're sending in 4 extra players. That time they came out, had a wide out. They kind of abandoned that tight formation. Maybe they'll go to it now, especially with second and short.
Second down and 3. Thomson leading by 4 or 5. Check it. 26-21. Boy, just a double tight end power formation, running to the left, trying to get wide. Slips down on that turf. We talked about the water and the artificial turf, and it slipped right when he tried to make that cut. That's one thing. The artificial turf is slippery anyway, but when it rains, there's no place for the water to go. He just simply slipped.
That's the third down. Again, looked like he had some room there. We're gassed. We are gassed. We're not, you can tell, we're not getting there as fast as we used to. We just got to bow our necks right here.
Third down and short, running right up the middle. And I think he may have made it on a second effort. Very close to it.
He does have the first down there. This is where it pays off right here. All of that extra time that you do in the weight room and everything that you've done for this moment, when it feels like you have nothing else left to give, this is where the defense has got to go ahead and stand up and make a play.
Seeing kids with hands on their hips, that's usually an indicator that they're worn out. Trying to run the football up the middle, slipping in there, trying to stop things before it gets started was number 50 from the nose, Collins. But he still picked up a couple.
Almost did it. He had him in the backfield. It looked like it slowed it down. And that's what I mean that we're gassed, because he even slowed him down, and we still weren't able to get there quickly enough. And right now we're just substituting people in and out, trying to see if we can get someone that has a little more gas in their tank.
Collins coming out, second down and about 9. Maybe a short 9, long 8. Running left side of the...
There we go, getting from the backside. There we go.
From the behind, number 12 coming up there, Roberts making the tackle. Still picked up a couple of yards, though.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need something like that, getting from the backside, because it still looks like they're able to control the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 5 from their own 45. Thomson leading 26-21, a lead of 5. Third down, will they go for it if they don't make it? Well, first Thompson's got to stop them at the Fitzgerald 45-yard line.
Time to hunker down, Harry Dawg.
Under the center now, quarterback for Fitzgerald. Trying to throw the football with the quarterback option, RPO. Now he's just going to turn it up and runs it, picks up the first down, and he is down inside Thomson territory. Remember, this is a quarterback that doesn't run very often.
Yeah.
He mostly just hands off and throws when needs to. But it's a first and 10.
Yeah, and they did a great job of coverage, but, we just didn't have any kind of pursuit. And he chose to go ahead and run the ball, and it was rather easy to pick up the first down there because we just really didn't have any type of pursuit on him.
Defensive ends and all of them crashed down trying to stop that inside run. And he just ran off of that. Good call. Good play call. First and 10, back to running up the middle. Back to 4 and 5 yards on the gain. Down to the Thomson 40, inside the 40.
Okay, now, that time they took it right up the gut there.
Second down and about 2 or 3 for the first down.
Yeah, it was just right up the gut there, and like I said, they're able to get to our linebackers as well. So
second down, 1 yard to go for the first down. Fitzgerald driving up the middle again. Fitzgerald with an apparent first down. There'll be a new set of downs inside the Thomson 35 at around the 34. First and 10, Fitzgerald. Thomson leading 26-21. Time of possession, 27 minutes to 12.
35-yard line.
First and 10, 4 minutes to go in the game. Running right up the middle again. Short yardage. But running the clock at 3:45, 3:43. Time beginning to be a little bit of a factor now. Thomson has 2 timeouts remaining. They have all 3 of theirs. First and 10. Fitzgerald at the Thomson 35-yard line. In the backfield, all kind of miscommunication, trying to do something with it. Going to be knocked out of bounds, and they're going to lose yardage.
Yeah, that was a second down and 9 play, so that's going to bring up third and long. And so now they're going to come with the offense that has a spread package.
That was a wildcat as they were trying to run that wide to the left side and unable to do so. He fumbled the football, picked it up on the bounce.
Hunt able to go ahead and push him on out of bounds. Third down and long. This is what we want. This is what we want here.
3rd and 14 is what it is exactly, and they've got the ball at the Thomson 39-yard line. They've got their quarterback back in there now. He's a very good passer. Remember, looking to pass, some pressure put onto him, rolling to his left. We're going to sack him. We're going to sack him at the 50. There's that Thomson D. Number 8, I think it was Brigham coming in there from mistake. Check that. That's Phelps.
It's Phelps. Yes.
Phelps coming in.
Number 9, Phelps.
And he has come up big all last week as well, all the way back to the 50.
And the week before. He's been able to do that, like I said, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, come off the edge. And you simply can't go for it here. You would think not.
Cooper's banged up. He had to come off. They've got to punt it now without their quarterback when they're looking at 4th down and 24. Remember the clock, 3:03, 3:02, 3:01. Good snap. Punts away, trying to kick it away from the intended return man. And we're just going to let it bounce, I hope, and not pick it up with everybody around him. Because he's just staring over it. Now they're letting the clock run, and that's fine with Thomson.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
We're the ones with the lead, 26-21.
So that defense shows up, showing that they had something left in them, and I'm telling you, perfect time and a great time for it.
2:48 to go in this game, and a timeout on the field here. Thomson leading 26-21. You're listening. Thomson High School football action.
Your number one Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson & Knox is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
26-21, 2:48 is what's left on the clock. That's all that's remaining in this game. Thomson has it 1st and 10. That's the good news. The bad news is we're on our own 26-yard line, and we have not done a whole lot offensively in this half. We've only had 1 first down in the entire second half. We had 4 in the first and 1 in the second, so we only have 5 first downs in the entire ball game compared to their 14. Time of possession, it's heavy in favor of Fitzgerald, as it has been throughout, it seems like. Maybe we can get another long Curry run to break this thing open, but they've had it 32 minutes and Thompson's had it 12. You see that big difference. The defense really is breathing hard and just came up with a big play, as they have so many times.
Absolutely.
As Phelps came in from that linebacker position, putting pressure on the quarterback. And their quarterback went out limping, and they're certainly going to need him, because if they are forced to use all of their timeouts here, Thomson, you would think, would want to keep it on the ground to use up the clock and hopefully get up some yardage.
Yes.
A couple of first downs here could be devastating. And I say we have it on our own. No, we have it on our own. Remember, I'm in the end zone, so I can't really tell. It's around the 5.
It's the 5. I think it is. They're saying on the scoreboard it's on the 4-yard line.
Okay, 1st and 10 from our 4. I'm on the other end. We're trying to run the football and picked up a couple, and that's about it. Burning up the clock at 2:39.
And they're going to use their timeouts as soon as possible as Fitzgerald uses their first one.
Had 3, now they have 2. They call a timeout with a timeout showing on the clock. 2:37 the score, 26-21. Thomson with a 5-point lead. We'll take 1, too. You're listening. Thomson High School football action.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Most jobs take a few steps to complete. What they shouldn't take are a few thousand actual steps roaming through a big warehouse. Instead, make a quick trip to Ace. Our neighborhood stores have the quality brands you trust, with local experts giving the advice you rely on. So Ace can help you every step along the way.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got everything you need to get your home in shape at Ace, along with our friendly, helpful service.
5-point lead. The biggest difference has been turnovers. We've fumbled the ball 3 times, and we've lost 2 of them. And I keep thinking that 2016 game just was such haunting memory. 7 fumbles in that game. Here you see what a difference 5 fumbles or 2 fumbles make.
2 fumbles will do. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, what we would give for a first down here and a new settle down with 2:43. 2nd down and 10. No yardage on that last carry. Fitzgerald fans are up, standing up. So are the Thomson fans. They're hollering defense. High snap. Trying to get out of the end zone, and we do, barely. And it's going to be 3rd down and a loss of a couple.
Yeah, we lost a couple on that one.
Boy, bad snap. Almost cost us. Well, actually,
you know what? I think you're thinking what I'm thinking.
I certainly am. You run timeout on the field. We'll come right back and share it with you. See what you're thinking. Timeout on the field. Thomson leading 26-21. You're listening. Thomson High School football action.
Those of us that played for the Dogs back in the 80s had a coach whose favorite saying was, anything worth doing is worth doing what? right. At Wallace & Son, we do our best to do things right. We want to get the price right when you're looking for your new Gravely zero-turn mower or Red Max trimmer or blower. We want to do the service right when service is needed, and we want you to know you've been treated right every time you come in. At Wallace & Son, we know that anything worth doing is worth doing what? Right. That's Wallace & Son, 201 Gordon Street in Thomson. Wallace & Son, doing things right for 59 years. Go Dogs!
No. 2:38 to go in the game. We're leading by 5.
Yeah.
Now, if you give up the safety, we're leading by 3, which means a field goal would send it to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And against their offense, I don't know if we want to go into that, where they're running it up the middle so much against us. We've only had, remember, they've got 14 first downs, and we've only got 5. So I don't know. What I'd rather see is a first down by Thomson here.
Yeah, that's what I'd rather see. But, you know, that giving up those 2 points, you know, is you're rolling the dice, of course, but the thing about it is...
We're not even on the field.
Yeah, we're not on the field.
Showing 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think that we're going to take a timeout.
And we are.
Yeah, we are.
But why not, AJ, why not do it when the clock is running? Nevertheless, a timeout on the field, we'll take another one here. 26-21, you're listening to Thomson High School football action.
The real taste of Mexico is only found at Habanero's Mexican Grill. Street tacos will quickly become your favorite menu item, too. They start by adding special sauce to 2 smaller round corn tortillas. You choose the meat, steak, chicken, pork, or carnitas, and cilantro, onions, then dip it into green or red sauce. The authentic taste of Mexico, street tacos. Try some tonight at Habanero's Mexican Grill, Washington Road, Thomson.
So Thomson takes a timeout, but unfortunately the only thing that was running was the play clock. So I'm not sure what that accomplished, because now we only have 1 timeout remaining. If the clock had been running and you could run down some 30 seconds or 25 seconds off of it, but see...
Yeah, but the thing about it, you know Fitzgerald's probably going to use that last timeout at least to stop the clock once it does start running. So now...
Well, make them do it.
Yeah, let them do it. Let them use their last timeout.
Third down here, and about 10 to go from the first. We have lost a yard out of 2 attempts. Got to have a good snap, certainly, and it is. Trying to run the football up inside, now cuts outside. Still only speed out to about the 15-yard line, and I think Curry made the first down.
Did he get enough?
I think he did.
Yes, he did. First down, Thomson.
Wow.
And so they're not going to use a timeout now. Fitzgerald won't, because they got to keep that in their pocket for some reason. Now we just need to milk the clock as long as we can.
And everyone up there tight. They're lucky that Curry didn't break it.
My goodness.
Because everybody was crashing in trying to stop that short yardage. And instead they let Thomson out of the hole. And Thomson has a new set of downs at 2:05, 2:04, 2:03. Thomson leading 26-21. 5 seconds on the play clock, though. Out of the gun. Looking to run the football over the right guard, right tackle.
Hold on to that football. That's the main thing, because they're going to be going after it.
Everybody clawing for it. They're still clawing for it. Curry has it. This clock is ticking, 1:48, and I think a timeout on the field. And if it is, it will be their last timeout, right? By Fitzgerald. And that is their last timeout. 26-21, Thomson with the lead as Fitzgerald uses up their very, very, very last timeout. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Queensboro National Bank and Trust knows success is built with teamwork. Queensboro's staff of experienced, knowledgeable personnel is in the business of helping families reach their financial goals. Queensboro National Bank, proud to be your community bank. Come see them at 549 West Hill Street. QNBTrust.Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The heart of your neighborhood. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Thomson picked up a first down, only their second first down of the entire second half. But what a time to pick it up. Holy mackerel. 4 first downs in the first half, only 2 first downs in this half. Somehow we're ahead 26-21. 5-point lead. Second down, 6 yards to go for the first down. Trying to run it to the left side, cuts inside, hold on to the football, guys, and gets it out to about the 24-yard line, close to the first, a little bit shy. But what's most importantly is that clock. 135, 134, 133, 132, third down.
This thing can be under a minute by next snap.
Third down short. Third down and 1 to be exact. If Thomson picks up a first down here, would they dare go for it on fourth down? Probably not.
And we snapped it.
He, as a flag, oh my goodness, procedure of all things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Stopping the clock at 1:15. We snapped it early for some reason. Not sure why. And we have a procedure penalty against us. Oh, my.
I was just sure that we were going to wait. If we had enough time on the play clock to have the clock down to under 1 minute.
You're at 1:15. We could have
had it at about
55, something like that.
56 seconds when we snapped it.
We snapped it early. Not only that, we committed a penalty, and the 5-yard penalty now is third and about 8, and it stopped the clock.
Stop the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
And
another penalty.
Looks like we did it again.
Illegal procedure against Thomson, 2 consecutive ones. Thomson trying to self-implode here.
Well, here's the thing about it, is we're in the Wildcat. Curry is calling. I don't know if that has anything different to do with it or not.
Well, now it's third down and 11. Remember, we had it 3rd and 1 to win the ball game. Trying to get wide to the right side, trying to turn that corner, and does. Down to the 40, down to the 45, makes the cut at midfield, down to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Adios! Goodbye! Touchdown, Dogs! Touchdown, Dogs! Touchdown, Dogs! Holy mackerel!
Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness! No flags, no flags, please no flags. There's a flag for celebration, we'll take it. If I was down there, I'd be celebrating too. Throw one on me as well. Touchdown, Dogs.
Unbelievable.
1 minute left on the clock. Remember, we could have had it less than that a while ago. And then 2 consecutive. This team drives you to drink. Holy mackerel. 32-21. Golly. Oh. Now the extra point. Thomson's just going to go for 1. 32-21. Rain still coming down. Noah Story turns over to the crowd, says, get up, get up. This game isn't over. There's still a minute left.
Still a minute. There's still a minute. Oh, my goodness.
Waiting for that snap as a flag is thrown.
Now, someone has too many players on the field. Who is it?
I think we only have 11.
No, Fitzgerald has 13 players, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, they've got 13 players.
Better chance of blocking it, you know.
Yeah, 2 of them have to come off.
32-21. Oh, so we'll probably decline that penalty.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to go for 2, and there'd be no reason to. We're up by 11. Remember, it's wet. Good snap, the hold. The kick is up. Looks like and it's off.
He hooked it.
That one not successful, so an extra point not good. But the touchdown was. 1 minute left to go in this game. 1 minute. 32-21. Thomson with the lead. You're listening. Thomson High School football action.
I'm attorney Reed Sanders with the Hawk Law Group. and we're your local wrongful death attorneys located right across the street from the courthouse. Growing up here and being a proud graduate of Thomson High School, I'm glad to be able to give back to our community by supporting the Thomson High School Booster Club. Just like a team coming together on the field, we are your team that comes together in the courtroom. So when you have a legal need, get the group, the Hawk Law Group, and go Bulldogs.
Thomson kicking off, 32-21. 1 minute left. Oh, my heavens. Shoo! 32-21.
All right.
Oh, and there's a penalty. Now, this is where
back to the business at hand. There's 1 minute left.
Remember, there was a 15-yard penalty because of celebration.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kicking off from the 20.
So what really needs to happen is that we can't give up a touchdown on the kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
So we really got to make sure.
Because then there will be an onside kick.
Yeah.
So this game is not over yet. They're out of timeout.
It is not. You've got to be able to make a tackle here. Hey, I'll take him kicking it out of bounds. That's fine.
Giles kicks it, and it does go out of bounds, and they'll take the ball right there.
Yeah.
With no return, as he was trying just to kick it over there, something short.
I will take it now. Now, here's the thing about it. They may want to re-kick to have a chance to return it.
But that would also use up some clock.
Yeah, but I think that what they would like to have is an opportunity to run it for a touchdown on a kickoff. I think they think that it's a better opportunity for them to try to score on this kick. So they're going to let them kick it again. And they are. Because we got to go back another 5 yards here.
So kicking from the 20 now.
Yeah.
And it'll be a re-kick. And they are going to have great field position.
Yes. And again, the thing about it is we cannot let them score.
Kicking off from the 20, Giles once again will do the honors for Thomson, leading 32-21. Very high kick coming down at the 45-yard line, and he finds a seam.
You got to stop
him. He's at the 45 to the 40. He's at the 35, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 30. So this game not over. That took only 7 seconds for him on that return. From a minute to 53, Thomson with 11-point lead, but Fitzgerald, remember, they throw the ball well. Thomson normally good against pass defense. So they've got great field position. Personal foul against Thomson.
And now we've got a personal foul. What was that about? So now that's going to put them around the 15-yard line. So this game is far from over.
53 seconds. In 7 seconds, we have scored a touchdown and had 2 penalties at 15 yards, 3 penalties against us in 7 seconds. And they've got it at our 15-yard line.
They got it at the 15-yard line.
Looking to throw the football into the end zone. Incomplete. Number 4 on the coverage, Storm Hunt. But only 48 seconds left to go. The clock's certainly important, but really the down in yardage. The celebration penalty, 15 yards, I can't hardly blame them for that. It was such an exciting moment. But in retrospect, you wish they hadn't. And then they kick out of bounds. That cost us some yardage. And then the return. Clock stopped at 48. Back to pass. In the pocket. Looking. Trying to hit a man wide open and incomplete.
Good.
He was open, but then it was really underthrown. If he had let him, he had a chance. Number 30 on the coverage over there for the Dogs, Curry. Travian is a linebacker, but has good speed. But he had a step on him. And it stops the clock at 42. Now the important thing is not so much the clock, but the down. 3rd down and 10.
3rd down.
From the Thomson 16-yard line. Remember, they can get the first without getting the touch. They have no timeouts. Back to pass. Looking right, then left, trying to set up a screen. Picks up 3, 4 yards, makes a move, and he's down inside the 10. Not enough for the first down, so the clock is running.
Still running.
At 33 seconds, 32 seconds, 30. They cannot stop the clock. 29 seconds, 28 seconds, 27 seconds. 33 seconds on the play clock, but the Game clock is important. 20 seconds. They snap it. Looking to throw the football in the end zone. And it's going to be incomplete, but a flag.
Flag.
And they were both fighting for the football. Pass interference is going to be the call, stopping the clock at 15. But in this situation, use up the clock. Do not let them score.
Use as much of the clock as you can. You're right.
It'll be half the distance to the...
Right there, I'm telling you. I'm not so sure about the call. That looked like very good defense.
So it'll be first down, first and goal from the 4, but 15 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw the football. They can't afford to run it. All the time in the world. Now some pressure overthrown to stop the clock at 10. They cannot stop the clock by a timeout. They're out of timeouts. Thomson has one for what it's worth. 32-21. 11 is your score in difference. 10 is the important number on the clock. 10 seconds away from a championship. 11-point lead for Thomson over Fitzgerald. Second down. 4 for the touchdown. Looking to throw the football. Up. Incomplete.
That's a great job. Another great defensive effort.
6 seconds left to go in the game. They've got a score, onside kick, and then a score.
And here's the deal. Here's the thing. If you have to interfere with them in the end zone, why not? Go ahead and interfere, because they still have to run time off the clock on another play to try to get in the end zone.
You cannot let them catch it in the end zone regardless. Looking to throw the football again. Out to the left side. Incomplete.
Wow.
2 seconds left. 2 seconds left. 32-21. 2 seconds. Fitzgerald is looking at the scoreboard. Fitzgerald is looking at the score. Thomson is looking at the clock. 2 seconds. They have 2 seconds to score a touchdown, 2 seconds for an onside kick, 2 seconds to hope they recovered, and 2 seconds to score another touchdown. Thompson leads by 11.
I think it's going to take them 2 seconds to run this play.
Well, you know it's going to be a pass. 4th down into the end zone.
If they catch
touchdown.
It, so be it. So be it.
Touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown.
But no time on the clock. It took them 2 seconds. They scored the touch. The Thomson scores the win. And look at the double flips out there. That's Curry. Double back flip. Holy mackerel. 32-27.
Oh, my goodness.
Thomson has won the state championship.
The Thomson Bulldogs are the state champion.
Thomson fans coming out from underneath the protection. They saying, we got to be part of this. Yeah. What rain. Thomson has won. 0 time left on the clock. I'm just trying to make sure it's official. 32-27, only a 5-point lead. Coaches are congratulating each other. So, yeah, it's official. It's official. Thomson has won this one. 32-27. Hey, let's take a timeout. We'll come right back, okay? 32-27 state championship for Thomson. You're listening. Thomson High School football action.
Thompson's Napa Auto Parts is in their new location at 317 West Hill. You'll find the same friendly folks with dramatically more in-stock inventory in their spacious new home just down the street. A long-time hometown original. Check out the new Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Kevin and the crew look forward to seeing you and keeping you on the road with their Napa know-how. Napa Brooks Auto Parts. Parts on which you can rely from people you know and trust. Now at 317 West Hill.
Thomson Plastics, one of our area's leading employers and civic-minded industrial providers, is pleased to support our local high school athletic programs by sponsoring Thomson High School football game coverage here on WTHO. From product design to just-in-time delivery, Thomson Plastics is a clear leader in the injection molding industry. With 3 locations, including 130 Quality Drive in Thomson, they might be a good fit for you, too. Visit ThompsonPlastics.com to learn more about employment opportunities in the Contact Us link.
There's an old saying, you can't sell from an empty wagon. So, the Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs loaded our wagon with over 100 rolls of no-wax vinyl, over 100 rolls of carpet, over 20 pallets of waterproof vinyl plank flooring, and over 500 area rugs. Our stores buy at the lowest prices and pass the savings on to our customers. You will love our selection and prices. The Remnant and Rug Shop and Grovetown Floors and Rugs, 50 years old and looking to the future.
Final score, 32-27. Thomson wins. If you miss the scoring, I feel like I did because I can't remember any of it. Let's go back. It started off with Thomson taking the lead with Curry with 4:24 to go in the first quarter with a 57-yard run. Giles with the extra point made it 7. But at the end of the first quarter, coming up with 151, a 58-yard pass on a beautiful post pattern. Hit him right in the numbers in stride, made it 7-6. The extra point made it 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. That's where it was, 7-7. Second quarter saw 3 touchdowns. Curry with a 1-yard run. It was second and goal. He just ran wide left, and they didn't have the speed to catch him. 13-7. The extra point made it 14. 7 minutes later, Fitzgerald would come right back, a 2-yard run with 4:49 left to go on the clock on the second quarter. 14-13. The extra point made it 14-14. They had to kick off. They didn't want to kick it to Curry. You don't want to blame them for that, so they kicked it over there to that little wing back. Had number 7 on his jury. We know him as Lane. We know him as Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Lane took it, did a little stutter step, and then he showed them, kick it away from Curry. Kick it to me. And all of a sudden, after 75 yards, it was 20-14, and missed extra point was a score at halftime, 20-14. They had 7 first downs. We only had 4. We had 204 yards offense. They had 173, and that doesn't count the 75-yard run by Lane on the kickoff return, and Thomson had the lead, most importantly, 20-14. But here came Fitzgerald. We knew they'd come back strong because we know something about their coach. He's just an outstanding one, and they took the lead in the third quarter with 57 seconds left to go with a 6-yard run by Solomon. The extra point was good, and all of a sudden at the end of the third quarter, Fitzgerald fans were happy because they had a lead 21-20. But yet, the fourth quarter. And fans, have we not had some fourth quarters this year, particularly these last 3 ball games? South Atlanta with 9 touchdowns. We were behind, remember, last week against Appleton County, we were behind in that fourth quarter. We were down. And all of a sudden, a long Curry run just pulled us out. And we won that game by 5. Well, what happened this time? With 8:21 left to go in the fourth quarter, Curry, 61 yards, 26-21. We went for 2. It was not successful. 26-21, a 5-yard run, and made the score a 5-point differential with 8:20 to go. But Fitzgerald was tough. We knew they were tough. But here comes Curry again. With 1 minute left to go in the game, it was Curry again. It was only 86 yards this time. And we had it 3rd and 1. And then an illegal procedure penalty cost us 5. Then another illegal procedure penalty cost us 5. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 11. And we're deep in our own territory. When we had it 3rd for 1, if we get the first down, we win the ball game because they're out of timeouts. But now we're looking at 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11, and we hand it off to Curry. Why not? Curry says 86 yards. That's not that far. It's only enough to win the state championship, and it was. 86-yard run, 32-21. We missed the extra point, giving us a 11-point lead, and then a celebration penalty cost us 15. Then we had a 5-yard penalty where we kicked it out of bounds, and now we're kicking from the 20. We kick it in the middle of the field, and they run it back to our 15, and we're going, oh, my goodness. Could this actually happen? There was still a minute left to go in the game. We didn't run the clock down. And we could have, but we didn't. So all of a sudden, they've got the ball at the 15. Finally, they make a first down at the 5, but they're having to use up time. All the time that they didn't have much. They didn't have any timeouts. They threw a pass, complete, touchdown. But when you looked at the clock, it showed 0, 0, 0, which is abbreviation for Thomson are the state champs. That's what that meant. We looked at the clock, and all Thomson fans kept staring at that clock, not wanting to give up a touchdown. It was 4th down when he made it. But we're looking at that clock with all zeros, which spelled Thomson champions, and that's what happened. The 4-yard pass made the score 32-27, and that was the final score of the game, 32-27. But the most important thing was we held on when we had to. We had 2 turnovers in the game. We were worried about that with those turnovers. Could we be, the same thing that happened to us in 2016 where we had 7 fumbles. We didn't have that many this time, but we didn't have any in the first half, and then all of a sudden, it's deja vu seeing these fumbles again. But we held on somehow. And I can get my voice somehow. And we win the game 32-27. Let's take a 90-second timeout. Just give me a few seconds, folks, and we'll come right back and kind of look over the final stats if you're interested in that. And certainly we want to look past over the year of this state championship year. So don't go away. We're only going to be gone for 90 seconds. You're listening to Thomson High School football action.
Hey, folks, it's the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne at Sunset Auto Sales. Are you having to use buckshot on the reindeer to get your old sleigh moving every day? Well, hurry on down and trade that old sleigh on a new one that shines like Rudolph's red nose. Come see Mary Mad Missy, that elf on a shelf, Crazy Kris Kringle, and yours truly, the Nutcracker Waggy Wayne. 1409 Washington Road, Thomson, Georgia, 706-595-9553.
Your number one Bulldog fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Watson & Knox is a winning combination. They'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Watson & Knox Insurance today at watsonandknox.com or 139 Main Street, downtown Thomson.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hey, this is Shane Pangle from Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware in Evans and Thompson. We've got everything you need to get your home in shape at Ace, along with our friendly, helpful service.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Final score, Thomson winning this one 32-27. It wasn't that long ago that we lost to Burke County 24-21. In Jefferson County, Grovetown, Laney, Waco, Josie, Butler, Putnam County, Glen Hills, and Westside went down in defeat, and then it was the playoffs. The top 32. Tattnall County was our first opponent, 26-0. Then Cook, 42-10. Then South Atlanta with that crazy fourth quarter with 9 touchdowns being scored in the fourth quarter, 56-38. And then Appling County winning 20-14, but it took another fourth quarter comeback. Curry once again pulled it out as we were down in that fourth quarter. And then tonight, winning this one 32-27. Wild Bill Beckham's up here with us. Bill, can you give us some final stats? I know the other radio crew is trying to get in, so the final stats of the game, and I'll give it to you. Wild Bill Beckham.
Well, thank you there, Dennis. You can find these interesting post-game stats. All right. Fitzgerald had 12 rushing first downs, 2 pass, 1 penalty for a total of 15. Thomson had 4 rushing, 2 passing, 1 penalty for a total of 7. Fitzgerald rushed the ball 55 times for 178 yards. Thomson 26 times for 277 yards. So I've got Thomson with 382 yards to their 267. Big thing here is penalties. Thomson was penalized 12 times for 110 yards. They were penalized 2 times for 10. Thomson had 3 fumbles. They lost 2 of them. They had 1 fumble. They didn't lose one. Just a couple of individuals here. 43 Hart with 1 catch for 80 yards. 11 Moss, 1 catch for 17. Number 13 Johnson, 2 catches for 8. Number 5 Jones, 7 carries for 28. Jeffries, one carry for 3 yards. Brigham, 1 carry for 2. And I guess the big one would be Curry, 17 carries, 243 yards.
243 yards for Curry. Yeah, I would say that's a big one.
I would say from your standpoint, you could see that cut on that last touchdown was unreal. I mean, we were on the side over there, and I mean, that was impressive to watch, but he cut it back. And I guess from this angle, it would be even really more. I don't know where he saw that coming, but he took it 80-something yards for the touchdown. That sealed the deal.
So Thomson is the AA state champions this year. And with that, we have to say goodbye to 20 seniors, and 20 outstanding seniors become officially members of Ghosts of the Bricks. Number 3, Des Boyd, the 5'7", 145-pound free safety. We're going to miss number 3. Boy, he was important. Number 8, Brigham, came over from Laney. Remember the basketball star? Came over here. We put him at wide receiver. He became our leading receiver offensively. And we also put him at safety, and he became our 3rd leading tackler after and even that, he didn't even play in the defense in the first 2 or 3 games. But number 8 is a senior. We're going to miss Brigham. Number 11, Moss, Jaden Moss, wide receiver, 6'3" senior, had a great high school career, and he will be missed, no question about it. Had a great game tonight. Jalik Johnson, we'll see him on the baseball field, but wide receiver Jalik Johnson, 6'1", number 13, is now officially a Ghost of the Brick. Jalen Belton, defensive back, wide receiver, senior, 5'10", about 165 pounds, graduating, and another one of those great, particularly on special teams, an outstanding player. Number 23, Norman, the starting cornerback, 5th on the team in tackles defensively, a senior, and we're going to miss Norman, man, are we ever. Number 25, Ruff, Demarion Ruff, the wide receiver, 5'9", 140 pounds, not big, but just like all these dogs, played with a big heart. Number 29, Grant, the wide receiver, defensive back, also another senior that's going to be leaving us. Number 30, yeah, he's a senior. I hate to tell you that he is a senior because what a great defensive player he has been, and he has played his last games wearing the black and gold. Number 30, Travian Curry, number 1 tackler on this defensive team. The middle linebacker, number 41, Babs, 4th in tackle, 6'1", 190 pounds. We lose him as well. Number 43, another linebacker and receiver, as he showed, Hart. Number 12, or number 43, a senior, 2nd on the team in defense, co-captain, 6'2", 170 pounds. He's a senior, and he graduates, along with number 47, Quincy McCord, linebacker, a senior. Along with the nose man, number 50, Collins. You know, Collins is not very big. Well, he's not very tall, but he's thick. And, man, we saw him trying to stop those plays up the middle, diving in there. Collins plays with a huge heart, and we're going to miss nose man, number 50, Tavian Collins. Number 52, Ramsey, the left guard. And the strength of this team, one of the strengths was their guards, 5'8", 215 pounds, Ramney, a senior. He's leaving us. Number 53, the right tackle. He's not tackle size, folks. He's 6'3", 210, was playing right tackle. He's more of a tight end, but they had to have him because he's such an outstanding blocker, even though at times he just was undersized. But number 53, it will be a Ghost of the Bricks. Number 62, Miller, offensive line, defensive line, both of them. He's a senior, and Miller will be graduating along with big number 64, Jimmy Stewart, big offensive tackle, is a senior. Evan Holbrook, co-captain on the team, 6'1", 250-pound senior. Man, you miss those centers when you don't have them, and he has been a standout all season long. 250-pound senior, number 72, Holbrook, graduating, along with number 74, Coulter, right next to him, the center and both guards. Holbrook, Ramsey, Coulter, 6 foot, 250 pounds. He is a senior. And lastly, but certainly not least, number 95, Giles, who just had coming into today, had 61 extra points, kicked off with a 42 average. I don't even know who the backup kicker is. Had a great career at Thomson, did number 95. Those are the seniors. And for those seniors, we say goodbye and congratulations, not just in being a state championship, but congratulations in your official induction as a Ghost of the Brick. Everybody except one loses their last game that makes the playoffs. Thomson did not. But both teams right now, both Fitzgerald and Thomson, with their strong tradition that both of them have, are saying, just wait till next year. We'll be back. We're simply reloading. Thomson High, 2022 state champions. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, it does to me too, folks. What a game, and there was a lot of Thomson people here to see it. This is the part of the broadcast that I dread all season long, because it gets to be in your blood, and you look forward to Friday nights or Friday afternoons, as the case may be. And you just really don't want to say goodbye. But it's time to say that, because it ends on a happy note. Thomson winning the state championship 35 by 5 points, whatever it was. I don't remember the score now. But Thomson state champs, I do remember that. So did I get a little excited? Yeah, along with a ton of other Thomson fans, I can tell you. It was a great, great game, an exciting one, as every game in the last three have been. Fourth quarter, it has come down to that fourth quarter and all three of them. Final score, Thomson state champions. Write it down, because I'll forget. 32-27. I know it was only a 5-point lead, and I know it was down to you're biting your fingernails at the very, very end. As AJ said, this game ain't over, folks. And it wasn't until the final horn sounded, when it showed on the clock, no time left, and Thomson fans erupted, knowing that their Thomson Bulldogs had won the state championship. 2022. State champions. Until next year, this is Dennis Sanders. For Action Jackson. For Wild Bill Beckham. For all the Bulldog gang and fans, there were a ton of them here. Until next year, saying, so long, everybody.
WTHO FM Thomson.